By the way, it hadn't been cleaned in 6 months. We're going to hand you this iPad, and you're going to have to tap, 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 tap on everything. And in that, I encourage everybody to do it at home. It's much easier.
Yes.
Do it on your phone or do it on your laptop. I have not been to the doctor in 5 years minimum, right? Where you don't have to fill out a medical checklist first.
Yes. I went to the doctor twice in the last 3 weeks. I did everything before the first, and then I went again yesterday, had to do it again. I'm like, I just answered these questions 2 weeks ago, but they're like, we need to know. Anything changes, we need to know.
Yes.
So they always ask you
always
5 or
do
6 pages of things you got to go check, check, check. Even if it's to go same, you still have to do it.
There is absolutely no way on planet Earth that the KU training staff and medical team, let's be honest, if you can't play, this is not, Hoosiers. Where, the guy who owns the hardware store is the assistant coach, and the trainer is a guy who played ball back in the day.
Yeah.
We're talking about a multi-million-dollar organization, an athletic department that carries a $110, $115, $120 million budget. We're talking about a player, or if you prefer, an asset that they have invested millions of dollars in. And nobody said, what are you taking? What's part of your workout? No one did. We're left to believe this. Look, it's so... There's no topic here. I want to be clear. There's no topic. I sit... Thunderdome has heard this. There's a difference. We tell the interns. There's a story, and then there's a topic. There's a difference between the two. This is a story.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no topic. What would the topic be? The topic is like, what are we going to kick around? What will we ask Danny about? What will we throw out to you, the listener, that you'd want to call in? How is it a topic? See, a topic is something that invites conversation. Hey, let's exchange ideas. Let's discuss this. Let's see if we can figure some things out. Where does it go? That's a topic. This is a story, and a farcical one at that. If there is a topic, it is this. Remember, for whatever school you root for, this is what the coaches are dealing with. This is it. This is what you deal with. This is what you deal with the players, their family, and now their agents. This kind of ridiculousness is what they're dealing with. Now, I ask no one to shed a tear for Bill Self. He can, dry his tears of frustration with the hundreds of dollars that he gets paid every second that he's the head coach of Kansas. I'm not asking anyone to boo-hoo for Bill Self. Okay? Not at all. He's handsomely paid. But I want everyone to understand, part of his job is freaking babysitter for not just player, but family and agent as well. If there's a topic here, to me it's, is this worth it? And I will tell you, Darren Peterson was absolutely not worth it. And by most accounts, the follow-up has been that they will now pay a player, and we heard nothing of any kind of issues with Darren Peterson. The follow-up will be that Tyron Stokes is said to have all kinds of bags. And by at least the estimations that are out there, he's making twice as much. That's college basketball.
Oh, college basketball, baby.
Oh, baby. Look at the parents. They're bet crap crazy.
Yeah. Now there's players and coaches and agents and parents, baby.
I mean, this is the zoo that is college athletics. It's always been that way. I'm going to tell you, if you've ever, go sit in the parent section. If you ever get that treat, if you think it's any different than the high school parent section, the way coach won't play my kid, never put my kid in.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean, I've had the pleasure, I guess I'd call it, of sitting in a parent section, at major Division I athletics. You're like, you got to be kidding me. Your kid sucks. Your kid's lucky to have a scholarship, and you're bitching he's not in the game. What are you talking about? It's
because they always were in high school.
This is what you have to deal with, and look, no NBA team is buying this. First of all, are you telling me that they sit and worry about his draft status and, we can't play him because he kind of feels something, and nobody in the family thought to ask, well, what are you taking? I don't buy that for a second.
No.
The kid clearly had something that scared the hell out of him. He had cramping, which, let's be honest, fluids were probably to blame. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that this did actually occur. I don't know. I haven't seen any hospital bill. I don't know what the hell will happen. And I get it that it was in his head. But if you're like, let's be an NBA GM. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go 1-1 with this guy. Why? According to this, they could not, with a massive state university hospital behind them, could not unravel the mystery of how he got cramps until 9 months later. What is going on? You've got to be kidding me.
Doesn't pass the smell test.
To me, the topic is it's character flags, right? We talk about it all the time in the draft. Rashee Rice is alleged to have at SMU have fired shots into an empty car of a student at SMU. Do you draft that guy? You try to get to the bottom of it. You ask the player, you ask the people around him, you go to the school, you ask the coaches, you try to get to the bottom of it, and you decide, well, is this going to be an at-risk player? The Chiefs made a mistake. Period. End of discussion. End of discussion. They made a mistake. There were other wide receivers that could have been had and could have done what he has done for this football team.
Yep.
All right, or done 90% of it, and in reality, probably done 400% of it because they wouldn't have missed all the games. So they made a mistake on that one. Tyreek Hill, a lot of baggage. They did their research. They did their background. They stood there taking heat on draft day. John Dorsey taking heat. Andy Reid taking heat. And they stood there and said, we know what we're doing. You're going to have to trust us on this. He was a productive football player. Ran him through all kinds of headlines they didn't want. But was a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. And I don't believe ever had any criminal charges put to him when it was all said and done, correct?
Yes.
But there was a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah.
Did they get that one right? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a lot to go through, but when you acknowledge we're not putting 53, 20-something-year-old guys full of testosterone who've never been told no in their life and are superhuman with physical ability, we ain't bringing 53 of those guys together and not having some bumps. So was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. I think in the end it was worth it. Did they eject at exactly the right time? Yes, they did.
Absolutely.
Yes, they did. That was exactly the time to eject. So this is the question for Kansas. Was he worth it? No, he wasn't. And if anybody at Kansas thinks otherwise, you're kidding yourself. You're just embarrassed by what the outcome was. You didn't go any further in the NCAA tournament. He didn't play half the time. You spent a boatload of money, and all the talk about your team was negative. It had to deal with him. Now, just because there's baggage that comes with Tyron Stokes does not mean that it will end the same way. But I think it's of note. They are giving a boatload of cash. From what I've been able to find, it's not $7 million, but I can't get anybody to tell me how much it is.
Anytime someone says, well, this time it'll be different, you have to go, will it?
And it might be.
It might be, but...
we mentioned the story that was in, was it The Athletic? I think it was The Athletic. That did a really nice job of kind of giving the background of Tyron Stokes.
Yeah.
And, that hey, hadn't been the easiest go, and But the part that I love is he's like, hey, I've made mistakes and I'm trying out here, which is a reason I think to give the kid a shot. Give him a shot. I don't know. It's a reason to give him $7 million and base the whole success of your multi-million-dollar basketball program on, because let's quit kidding ourselves. This ain't about the old alma mater anymore. When your coach makes $10 million and your forward makes $7 million and your roster costs $20 million and you've got a $100 million budget and you're putting a couple $1 billion in an endowment and you're charging more and more and more and more for tuition for every kid who walks through that door, don't sit here and act like we're just all in it for the kid. Once they started cashing a check, it's about some returns. Okay? And Darren Peterson did not have the returns. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, Bill Self, he's not getting fired. Not anytime soon. But they could use a good run before somebody goes, all right, what are we doing here? Like, the roster's not, they need to get to the second weekend. And Darren Peterson is now negatively affecting Kansas athletics as we move forward. I heard Jason Anderson talking about this. I think, or maybe it was Mick, I can't remember who it was, but Mick and Sterling and Jason were all talking about it. Like, are we going to have a moment where Kansas goes, okay, enough of this, here's a press conference. This is what we did for this kid. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Don't be throwing us under the bus.
Yeah.
And he didn't say, like, Kansas didn't get it done. But that's the only inference you can come away with from what he said. And so, again, you're running a multi-million-dollar corporation. Are you going to allow the message about your multi-million-dollar corporation to be factually wrong and just out there unanswered? I'm not saying there's an easy answer. It isn't easy, because you also don't need to be like, well, don't go to Kansas. As soon as you go to Kansas, they throw you under the bus when you leave. I don't think Kansas is going to say anything. I think they're pissed. I think they may start to become one of the louder voices like, all right, enough of this. Let's make them employees so we can sign a contract that comes with a non-disparagement clause that when we pay you, you don't say anything that can reflect negatively on us. And if you do, even if you didn't realize it at the time, we will sue your ass. And we will get some of our money back. That's why you have employees. There are things you have to do, like provide a safe workplace. They get some say in how much they're going to practice and how much they're going to play. You know, all these different rights that everybody has out there as workers, they would now have. It's a bigger deal in football where it's like, pad it up, boys, 2-a-days. That crap would stop. All right? But in exchange, like, you go to our trainers. You do not say negative things about Kansas, about the coaching staff. And if you do, we'll take our money back. And we'll see you in court. This is not a story. To me, the only topic that's there, or this is a story, excuse me, this is not a topic. The only topic I can see on this is if you, like, they have to be really good at assessing the baggage. Is it worth it? How much are you going to pay? And we said at the time, would Kansas have been better with three $1 million players than the $3 million they're alleged to have paid Darren Peterson? Yes. Unequivocally, undeniably, yes. And I've said it before. Every professional team, which college football and basketball most certainly are now, every team, the most important thing they have to do is look in the mirror and be honest about what's looking back at them. And Kansas has to be honest. They're a program, for many reasons, that has only been past the first weekend of the tournament once. They're a program that squandered a lot of money on a player that did not return the dividends. And that's going to happen. There is a cost to doing business. But you cannot be like, well, you know, this. No, you have to understand, well, this is what we missed. Well, there was this one coach who's like, yeah, he's kind of doesn't want to play here or there. Oh, Coach Self will get him going. Bill's such a great motivator. He'll have him ready to play. No, that didn't work. Well, but when we pay him, he'll go. Well, but when he's on the biggest stage, and this is for him to make really life-altering, family-altering, generational wealth is at stake, then he'll put the pedal to the metal. No. Not true. No. And if you don't view it that way, and you just say, like, we got kind of unlucky, or, wasn't really our fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. And you got to be honest about what happened and how it went wrong. And now you enter into Tyran Stokes' year. And we're going to see what that brings. I personally, Tyran Stokes, I would rather hold a kid back than push him forward. Now, he doesn't, some of the gripes are that he doesn't really care about playing defense. Well, I'll just go put it in the net on the other end, Coach. I don't need to guard anybody. Okay, we'll see how that works. That doesn't seem to jibe with Bill Self. But when his mother said, in this article that we're talking about, said he wants to be coached hard. When you're coached hard, it shows the coach cares. Well, he's going to get coached hard by Bill Self. We'll see if she means that. We'll see if she means it and he doesn't. We're going to find out. I'm actually not as I was more optimistic about Darren Peterson last year this time because I hadn't heard any of this crap. But I do feel like, at least going in, Kansas, I'm sure had a lot better feel for whoever Darren Peterson really is as a person than we did. But at least all this information's out there, and Kansas presumably knows this and much more, and they've decided we're going to pay this kid even more. I'm going to tell you, as a prospect, he is not as good a prospect, raw talent, as Darren Peterson. All right? But he's the best in this year's class. And listen, I know everyone's griping and moaning, people don't like the portal and they don't like the NIL and all that. What an amazing time to be watching sports. What an amazing, for me, for you, Kurtis, for Kyle, what an amazing time to get to cover sports. This is like, a landmark moment.
Especially college sports. It's being transformed almost yearly from what we even knew 5 years ago. It's amazing.
It's stunning. And to watch Bill Self, one of the greatest coaches who have ever coached college basketball, adapt and adjust to what is a new way of doing things and see if he can put this program back on top, we can't beat it.
Hard to be more compelling than that.
You can't beat it.
No.
This is a farce. Darren Peterson's little theory here. It's so laughable, and it will be laughed off by the NBA so quickly. But it is so clear that finally somebody there amongst himself and his camp have realized, oh, we kind of screwed our status. And most people don't have him 1 or 2, right?
No.
Like, I think it'll be really interesting to see where he goes. It only takes one. It only takes one, but they obviously do not like what they're hearing about where he's going to go. What is it? When is the draft? It's usually in June.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually after the finals.
I know the lottery is this weekend. So.
Yeah. They are clearly not liking what they're hearing. And this is their attempt at damage control. And it will not work. It will not change anybody's mind in the NBA. They're not dumb. 913-3810810, you're in the program. You listen to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us. We have some wonderful treats that have been brought to us. Our friends at Cedar Crest Lodge. Don't forget the big Mother's Day week giveaway. Go to the Sports Radio 810 WHB Facebook page. Check out the post we did for Cedar Crest Lodge on Monday afternoon. Like and comment on that post for a chance to win a wonderful giveaway. Basically, you go to Cedar Crest Lodge. It's about 45 minutes south of Overland Park. It is the premier and award-winning getaway spot here in Kansas City, voted the number 3 bed and breakfast in the entire country. We're going to be giving away a 2-night stay in their Tuscan Manor Suite. That's an 1,100 square foot, second floor suite, 2-person jacuzzi tub, 2-person shower, large deck, great views, refrigerator, mic, 2 smart TVs, electric fireplace, and more. You will love it. Trust me, she will love it. But guys, if you're going with her, you could give it to her to take a friend or what have you. It's a $1,900 value. We're going to be giving it away. The food is amazing. Gourmet cooking. Much of what you're going to be eating is grown right there on their property. Organic food, and they buy it from the farmers around them as well. So much of what you eat is like grown within minutes of your dinner table.
Yeah.
And it is, I know you think of it like, where's there a scenic view? It's really subtle. You're kind of going up, and they're on this bluff. It's beautiful. They got a pool, got a heated pool. It is a great spot. Great food. You will love it. Perfect for a couple of nights to relax and get away without having to have all the hassles of traveling, of driving, filling up the tank twice. That ain't cheap anymore.
No.
Or flying and dealing with all that. Nope. You're just 45 minutes away. And you can hang out, fully furnished suites. All the perks, 6 chocolate-covered strawberries, bottle of champagne, 1-hour couples massage, picnic lunch for 2, dinner and full breakfast are included each night of your stay. If you're interested, I would encourage you to go book now, cedarcrestlodge.com, the number 3 bed and breakfast in the USA, and the treats.
Well, one of them's gone.
Yes.
It was the bottom half of a croissant with blueberries, and I'm sure they're fresh blueberries, and something else I can't quite identify, but it mixes perfectly. I think they put it in the oven for a little bit, so
it's wonderful.
It crisps the bottom, kind of like a really good, like a turnover, where it's just crispy and flaky, but so good.
Oh, it's so good.
And the other thing is a raspberry chocolate scone. I fell in love with scones about 10 years ago. I discovered, like, oh my goodness. So I've taken off the corner of it. I've yet to take a bite of it, so that's going to be the next break. I'm going to start working on that scone.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I've shared mine with the fellas. They are unbelievable. It is like gourmet food, and you will love it. It's a great time. So check it out, cedarcrestlodge.com. Royals have made a move, Curtis.
They have made, I guess, a combination of moves up. Right-handed pitcher Steven Cruz recalled from AAA Omaha, as was right-handed pitcher Stephen Kolek. Left-handed pitcher Eric Sarantola, who gave up the 3-run bomb that kind of put the game out of reach yesterday, has been sent back to Omaha, optioned to Omaha. Carlos Estevez is returning from a rehab assignment. I don't know what that. Okay.
And then I think they're going to IL him.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then Cole Reagan's placed on the 15-day injured list, retroactive to yesterday, with left elbow impingement.
So out is Reagans and Sarantola.
Mm-hmm.
In, because I am trying to put the closer part of the equation in here. Let's set him aside.
Yeah.
Out, IL, right? That's what they're calling it now.
Yeah.
IL for
Reagans,
down for Sarantola,
mm-hmm.
up Stephen Cruz
and Stephen Kolek, who I would imagine will pitch on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's where they had a TBD. When did he pitch?
He will pitch Sunday if Noah Cameron's not ready to go.
Yeah.
And he would not normally be able to be called back up. You can only come back up within 10 days if you have another injury. And so the Royals have an injury with Cole Reagans, so he's eligible to come back up. And so he would go Sunday for Noah Cameron, and then they'd have to figure out Cole Reagans. Or if Noah Cameron's back, then he would go for Cole Reagans.
Yeah.
On when did Cole Reagans go last?
2 days ago. So
he'd be
Wednesday,
Monday?
He'd be Monday.
He'd be Monday.
Although
so he's going to pitch.
I think are they off next Monday?
Well, then he'd go Tuesday.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's the move for the Royals, and then now bringing back
Estevez, I assume, like as you said, he's returned from his rehab assignment. I think I don't think he's returning to play. He's returning so they can put him on the IL. They have to do that, I guess, to put him on the IL. He has to be on the team.
How they.
I'm assuming he has to be on the roster to then be IL'd. So.
Well, he's already on the IL.
Yeah, I guess
it was a rehab
assignment.
assignment.
That's true. I'm not sure how that works then.
Sounds to me like surgery is what it sounds to me like.
Yeah, I don't think he's pitching again this year.
I think you just put, I don't think that's like an official designation. It's just so like when the media walks into the clubhouse and Carlos Estevez is there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what? I thought he was on a rehab assignment. They're letting you know in advance.
Yeah.
And presumably Matt Quatraro will have more information, and we will have Todd Lebo there.
Yes.
He will be there for Matt Quatraro's daily chat.
Yeah.
We'll get more from him.
Usually around 3:45.
Yeah. So certainly in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll give you the details beforehand, but it'll be part of our need to know coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. 913-810-810, the phone number. You can hit me up on the Twitter at Soren Petro, SORENPETRO. Let's talk about these Kansas City Royals.
Do we have to? It was so much more fun 2 days ago when they were hot.
It was definitely better. But, Bobby Witt Jr. homers, Vinny Pasquantino homers, the 7 games, what do we want out of the 7 games against the Guardians and Tigers?
We wanted 4 and 3 until they won the first 2. Then we're like, ooh.
And then we got greedy.
Yeah.
And we dreamed a dream of 5 and 2, which they theoretically could still get to if they swept.
Yeah. Which they haven't lost a weekend game in 3 weeks.
If they swept the Tigers, which is unlikely. Yeah. But I go back. This is why we do that.
Yeah.
Right? This is why we take these increments and we say, what do we want? So that when in the end they end up, if they go 2-1 and they're 4-3 on this homestand against good teams in your division, at least good relative to your division, good relative to the league you're in, because the AL blows. So top competition, and you go 4-3, there would be a tendency, if you did not set the tone beforehand, to want to come back and be like, well, this sucks. I mean, they're up 2-0. This should have been at least 5-2, and be bitching and moaning and have a negative attitude. You set the expectation beforehand. If you can go 4-3, however you get there, because we went at 3-3 on the West Coast trip, and they went 1-2 against the A's, and we were kicking a can around, moping and grumpy and whining and bitching and throwing in the towel again. And in reality, they would go on to sweep the Seattle Mariners, and now we're back on the party bus.
I don't really feel that much different from this team than I did 2 days ago. I think this is just what happens with the team. It's not great, but not terrible. But
if they don't get it done
tonight, I think is big.
I think tonight is big to get the momentum back.
Get the momentum back. Don't make 2 become 3. Then you're like thinking about a official losing streak on Saturday. Get that mojo feeling better. Then you feel like you're pretty good on Saturday and Sunday. You're right back on the horse.
Yeah. I do think
set the tone.
I do think it's an important one for sure this weekend. All right, let's take a break. We've got Danny and Leash still to come. 2-minute drill. Kevin Harlan up next. We talk to the head coach of Sporting Kansas City. Rafa Wicki is with us. They come off a 1-1 draw. Dug a hole quick, but got out of it quick. Sporting Kansas City talk next.
The program with Soren Petro.
There's 3 idiots sitting here and Lebo walking by.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up, guys. We're up against the clock. Mother's Day is Sunday. Have you gotten that perfect gift for the mom on your list, whether it's your mother, whether it's the mother of your children? Maybe it's your sister who's a mom. All moms deserve a gift on Mother's Day. And Jocelyn's Jewelry has been getting moms the gift they really want. You know what that is, jewelry. They've been providing that for almost 50 years. That's right, more than 40 years. Jocelyn's Jewelry has been your go-to for that home run gift on Mother's Day. So what are you waiting for? Go there right now. They get new stuff in every single day. Great selection, best customer service, most knowledgeable staff. Why would you go anywhere else? Voted the #1 jewelry store in Kansas City. So when it comes to moms, when it comes to putting a smile on mom's face, there's no better place to go than Jocelyn's Jewelry. Whether you need to get in and out fast or you want want to look through the entire store, Jocelyn's Jewelry is happy to help you out with whatever your need is. I know. Me and my daughters went in, and I think we looked at every piece of jewelry. My daughters loved it. It was one of their favorite experiences. They still talk about it today. Hey, Dad, remember when we went and bought that necklace for Mom? That was great. They let us look at all the jewelry. We got to see it all. It was unbelievable. Their customer service is fantastic, right? And the selection is better than you're going to find anywhere else. Gary Joslin handpicks them all himself. So whether you need a repair, an appraisal, or it's time for that Mother's Day gift, or maybe an engagement ring, they've got almost 1,000 to choose from, get to Joslin's Jewelry today. They're just a mile north of 435 at 95th and Antioch, southeast corner of 95th and Antioch. You can find them online at joslinsjewelry.com. Your hometown jeweler is Joslin's Jewelry, the gold standard in fine jewelry.
Getting quality sleep at night? If you are up using the bathroom 2, 3, or 4 times a night, and a large prostate may be the problem, Miva Medical can help with a quick, non-surgical treatment that is covered by insurance. Contact Miva Medical at miva-medical.com.
Bickmer Electric.
All right, welcome back here on the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier with you as we make our way through I don't know. I kind of like cloudy days from time to time.
I don't mind.
A pretty good day. Hopefully you're getting ready for the weekend. Hopefully you're already done. Don't anybody work in Kansas City. We get this late and it starts warming up. Yeah. Everyone's gone. You're out. You're done. You're Audi 5000. Let's talk a little Sporting Kansas City soccer. Of course, our coverage of Sporting Kansas City brought to you by our friends at Corona. Do you have your Corona stocked up for the weekend? Are you ready to celebrate a little Sporting Kansas City? Maybe some Royals baseball. Nothing goes better than Corona, whether it's Corona, Corona Light, Corona Premier for you watching your carbs and calories. Maybe it's the Corona non-alcohol. Yep, they got that as well. Or the Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza. The lime is already in it. You love your Corona with the lime? Well, check out the Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza. You can get it. Let's talk Sporting Kansas City as they get ready to play this weekend as we welcome the head coach of Sporting Kansas City, Rafa Wicki, is with us. Rafa, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir, and thanks for having me. How are you?
Very good. Good to speak with you. And how about that match against Seattle? Not the way you wanted to start, but certainly, I guess, the way you'd like to answer. Let's start with the not-so-good part. We'll get that out of the way. That first goal that comes in the first couple of minutes, how should that have been defended differently? It was a great touch, right? I'll say on a long pass to get it out to the wing. Was it an aggressive play where somebody was trying to do the right thing but ended up out of position? Or no, did we make a mistake there on the back line?
Yeah, you're right. Obviously not the way we want to start, especially from where we're coming from, right? I think in that moment, it's a decision Jake Davis has to make. Do I go into that long ball duel or do I stay away? He decided to go. If you go, normally you try to win the header, obviously, and to defend that header. You have to make a very quick decision, which in this particular play, when I look it back, it's not that easy to make, right? Of course, in hindsight, you would say don't go.
Right.
With this ball, Jesus Ferreira cannot really do much. You have to make a very quick decision. But again, it happened. I think what was way more important is the reaction of the team, which was good and was something we talked about a lot. And when we concede a goal, that we are not panicking, that we're staying calm, that we're staying in the game, we stick to the game plan. I think the team reacted really well to that.
Yeah, and I think that showed a lot of fortitude because it'd be real easy with some of the tough losses you guys have had to hang your head and be like, oh, here we go again, right? We know previous match, the goals just started adding up. I was really impressed. I mean, that the team was able to settle down, and then for another the entire rest of the match, 88 minutes to not let anything else in was pretty impressive. What did you think of the defense overall after that?
Yeah, again, like I said, I think it was very important to stay calm, to stay connected, to stay together, to stick to the plan we've had. We spoke about that, or we're speaking with the team about that a lot, because it's not the first time it happened in Chicago that when we concede a goal, that then suddenly we're starting to disconnect a little bit and starting to not be together anymore. So that was really good. And yes, I like that. I think overall the performance was a solid, good performance where everyone was together for 97 or 99 minutes, attacking together and defending together, not being so open. And I think that was very important and is going to be very important going forward.
I thought it was interesting. The announcers during the match, when he came out for the second half, said, well, I'm not really sure what Rafa's plan is. Right? After talking to him, they said they talked to you the other day, and they weren't sure which way you were going to play in the second half. What was it? Was it to make sure to not concede a goal? Was it to be aggressive? What was the game plan in the second half?
Our game plan was stick to the plan we've had. We were in this game. We created a few chances as well. We stayed. Hey, let's keep playing. When we have the ball, and let's be compact when we don't have the ball, with the right moments to go a little bit higher, which was then difficult, but at least we didn't open up. We didn't want to give them space in behind, which made us being very compact and for sure not that easy to play against. Now when you are compact and a bit deeper, of course, then the possibility is there that you concede some shots, which we did, but but at least we didn't open up, and the Seattle didn't have that many like spaces to run in, because they're really good when they have spaces to run into with Jordan Morris and some of their players they have. So I think that was good, and the team did really well. And I think the team spirit and everyone until the last second of the game sprinted back, came back, defended the box. I think that was a step into the right direction. That's where we are right now, and that's what we need. At the same time, we tried in the second half. I saw some really good football, some good actions from playing up from the back, which then led us as well to create some moments of creating chances.
Is that what happened in Chicago? I mean, you guys are 0-0 at the half. It looks like things are going great, and then it really just came unraveled. Did you see? You said we got back. We got back into place. Was that one of the things and how it got away in Chicago? Is guys weren't getting back, that they'd kind of lost the fire to do what was necessary?
I wouldn't say they lost the fire. I think after the first goal in Chicago, we started to not do things together. We started to go and chase the game in minute 50, and you have 40 minutes time to come back. You don't need to go and chase the game in a minute later, and opening up and giving them space is not going together anymore. Because in the first half in Chicago, we were very, very compact. Chicago didn't really have a chance, a very clear chance or a big chance. We had the biggest chance there. And I think the mistake we did is that we stopped doing things together, and we tried to change the game in very quickly. Versus the plan is, hey, let's stay in the game, let's stay calm, let's not concede the second one, and stay in the game, right? That was was for sure one of the mistakes in Chicago. And then, to be fair as well, we got punished by almost every single shot on target in Chicago.
We're talking to Rafa Wicki here in the program. I mentioned the goal you conceded with 2 minutes, but it was just 16 minutes later that you answer. Joveljic, I mean, how do you describe that goal? Just like he's hiding behind a defender, doesn't really know he's there. Just the crafty. Is that just like that's part of what makes him so good? Obviously, he's an athletic talent. He has touch. He has a lot of those things, but that's just the spatial awareness of the game. And isn't that just a guy who has that great soccer IQ to kind of, lurk in the background and then have an opportunity to jump on what was a casual pass back to the goalie? Yeah,
I think before Dejan receives or gets to the ball, it's like that was a moment where the team started to build pressure. We pressured a little bit, and we had a good moment to step, and then we forced them to an easy mistake, which was because the team stepped up together. And then obviously Dejan has this like quality where he smells sometimes where the ball comes in and around the box, and obviously then a very calm finish of him. Like that's the way we know him. His finishing in and around the box is really, really calm and really, really good.
But every player, they don't have that sense, right, where the ball is, right? That's part of what makes him special, isn't it?
That's part of what makes him a true number 9, and that's why he scores so many goals. That's something I didn't have when I played. I didn't really smell where the ball comes in the opponent's 18-yard box, so I always went the wrong place. But no, that's something you cannot really learn, to be honest. That's something you have or you don't have, and he has it. And then he's obviously a very calm finisher.
Yeah, and I like that point. You said he's a calm finisher, and he's got all the tools in the toolbox and how to finish, right? Everything he can possibly do. Somebody might be able to sniff that out, and then they fire one into the goalie, and it's like, oh man, what a crafty play, and what a great save by the goalie. He finished, right? That's I've heard people use the term assassin, right? He knows how to finish it and has whatever it takes to do it. I mean, whatever kind of shot he needs to shoot, he can do it.
Correct. He has the tools in and around the box. He knows he knows where the goal stands. He doesn't really need to look all the time. I think that's one of his biggest qualities as well. Yes.
All right. Coming up, the Portland Timbers. A lot of history up in Portland for Sporting Kansas City that obviously predates your time there. What do you have to do to get a win in Portland?
Well, again, I think it's a difficult away game on a turf field, but we have to keep working as a team as we did in the first half in Chicago and as we did here for 90 minutes and 97 minutes. I think that's the most important point, that we stay together, stay compact, apply pressure in the right moments, but that we also have the personality to play with the ball, and I think that's something else we did. I think in the game on Saturday as well. When we had the ball, I think we obviously did also mistakes, but we still kept trying, and created with that some other good opportunities, and that's going to be important as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the turf field. I don't think even the guys who play on it for their home field like the turf field. I'm just curious that there's no turf fields in Europe, is there?
Oh, there is. No, there is.
Oh, there are?
in
Okay.
Europe as well. Yeah, it just depends in which country you are. So there is as well. Yes.
Okay, so your first experience, I was thinking maybe your first experience with the turf field would have been when you got to the U.S.
No, that's not the case. No, we have there's depending
Okay.
on which country in Europe you are. So if in Switzerland we have turf fields, in Scandinavia there's turf fields. Obviously in EPL, in Bundesliga, in Italy, Spain there's no turf fields at the professional level, but there is turf fields all over. Yes.
All right, so how do you change the way you play because of the turf?
You try not to. It's always a big debate, big talking points. Do you train on turf before you go and play on turf? No one has the real answer, but I think a lot of teams don't really go because the players don't really like the change of grass and turf. You try not to change the way you play too much when you go on turf. It's just you need to have a good warm up. And you need to try to be as quick as possible in the game and get the adaptation of that.
We're talking to Rafa Wicki here in the program, the head coach for Sporting Kansas City. Time for our final four quickies. I'll start you with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, people seem to either love or hate the Portland Stadium. I'm curious. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you grade the Portland Stadium?
I've never been there.
Oh, really?
So I cannot give you a 1 to 10 there.
Okay, I look forward to hearing the report when you come back, because it's an old stadium that they've modernized a number of times. Some people love it.
Okay.
Some people kind of hate it. By the way, do you own a chainsaw?
Excuse me?
Do you own a chainsaw? You know,
I do not.
You know,
I do
okay.
not.
Are you familiar with chainsaws at all?
I'm familiar, but I've not really. I know what it is and
So
what it's used for, but I don't know one and I've never used one.
So you know your defense's goal is to not hear chainsaws. That's what they do. They take out a chainsaw and
I know that.
they
Yes.
saw the log, and so yeah, it's not a sound we want to hear. For sure, right? So, okay, I just didn't know if you were familiar with that. Have you got a gift for any of the moms in your world?
I sent flowers to my mom, and I will still look into that for my wife, obviously from my 10 months old son, that she gets something.
Okay, all right. That's an important part of the equation. And then I'm just curious, do you, like, one of the things that happens this time of year, we get the nicer weather and the rain starts coming. Are you a guy that mows his own grass? Do you have grass to mow? Are you in an apartment? How's that work? Are you a guy that likes to get out in the yard?
I do not. I have grass here now since I live here,
Okay.
but I haven't really mown that on my own yet. We'll see how the summer goes, if that's going to be a part of my job.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. That's always one of the things to figure out what you got to handle at home. Hey, Rafa, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Best of luck up in Portland.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, between 1975 and 1982, how many pitchers in Major League Baseball won more games than Dennis Leonard? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Every once in a while, we have to bring out the big dog.
Yeah.
Oh, God help us. It's time for Danny Unleashed. Sponsored by Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Go to eastonroofing.com for more.
You heard it, Danny Clinkscale, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. Joe Spiker and his great team are absolutely outstanding. Residential roofing repair and replacement. Many companies won't do repair. Sometimes that's all you need. A lot of those companies, especially the ones that are knocking on your door, chasing the hailstorms, will come and go, got to get a new roof. Known for honest communication and clear expectations, they handle both insurance claims and retail roofing projects built on integrity, communication, and quality workmanship. Call today. Talk to a real live person, 24/7, 365. Call 913-257-5426. We have had a lot of storms. If your roof's getting up there, get a free inspection today from Easton Roofing, a company founded on integrity. Go to eastonroofing.com. Danny, welcome.
Yabba dabba do.
Okay. Fred, thanks.
Yes.
for coming.
That's Fred's brother, Danny Flintstone.
Yeah.
My name's about
Yabba
as dumb
dabba
as
do.
Flintstone.
Okay.
Kind of similar, too long.
Two words put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, most people would not guess that, like, my name is as long as Di Gregorio.
Doesn't seem that way. There's
Yeah.
a lot of combinations.
Yeah.
It's the same length.
By the way, I'm looking at the crawl on ESPN, and they are, of course, they had the story
It's
about
as long
them.
as Caglione.
Okay, good to know.
I just counted them.
Are we going to just keep
No.
throwing out names? That
No,
are the same?
it was
Okay.
sitting right in front of me, so I counted the letters to make sure I was right.
I guess he said it, so I guess that makes it news. But the idea that, couldn't figure out that it was too much creatine was the problem is numbingly
Well, also,
stupid.
from most people's, I don't know much about creatine except for what I've been hearing people talk about today. And you should not have this happen if you're taking creatine, because part of the creatine process is consuming a lot of liquids and electrolytes along with the creatine. So maybe, if you fasted and just had creatine, and then the thought that their medical staff is good. They're associated with a hospital.
Absolutely. There's no way. No way. I mean, is it possible he did this on his own and didn't tell someone?
Yeah.
Yes. That's on him. Is it even, I don't know, and I'm not even going to bother to research what the hell it does to you and how it does. I don't even care. This is just absolute bunk.
Well, also, if he did this in the excessive amounts or whatever it's being said, I'm sure they did blood work on it. You know, they were befuddled as to what was going on.
Or at least that's what they said.
Or at least
yeah.
that's what they said, so they would have known. Because he just tested himself, supposedly, and said, whoa, it's too much creatine.
I don't see this any different than Eric Berry.
I think this...
I mean, it's like, he's literally day-to-day. Yes, because it's just about will he get his ass on the field or not.
Well, this is
Will he
also,
get on the court or not? There's nothing wrong with him. I mean...
It makes him look worse. I think it's an even further red flag.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also,
he's an excuse maker now.
Also, he goes to the combine and has a cramp. He says it's solved, so now he better not have a cramp.
Yeah.
Or he might not be in the first round.
Who snuck creatine in my water?
I said this is a story and not a topic. There's not much to talk about. If
Right.
there is, you have to, travel away from it. If there's a topic, it's does Kansas, are they not identifying the right players to be paying?
Well, that certainly is a topic, seeing as it looks like the next big thing they have is kind of trouble too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He looks like a piece of work. Now, maybe that piece of work will behave himself for 35 games, and he'll be great, and you won't care if he's got $20 bills all over his arms and social media posts or whatever. So, I don't know.
I mean, the idea that you're so focused on getting the NBA and you're not paying attention to what the hell it is you're doing to your body? I mean, like, where would you take him? How many guys would you take in front of him?
Oh, I'd have to look at the list now, but
that's
I'd have to wait until I didn't think I had a standout player.
DeBanza and Boozer, no doubt.
Arkansas guard, no doubt.
I absolutely would take Acuff as well. Those three for sure. He goes no higher than 4 for me.
I agree, because you're looking at the possibility of wasting a lottery pick. Now, 10 years down the road, this could be a footnote in time. Peterson overcame early mistakes in his career. He matured as a player, and now he's one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the comp, I thought the comp of his game was kind of James Harden. He's not saying he wants to play the point. He would have played the point, but, you know, they were trying to take the wear and tear off of him. Okay, whatever. James Harden, I remember when he came out, one person told me that they were like, were real questions about it. Like, one of the things that there was, I'm not even going to repeat it, but that there were questions about him. And
hey, right now, I would absolutely take James Harden's career.
Oh, for sure.
For him.
But that's what I'm saying. But I think James Harden exceeded what the expectations were. He was fantastic at Arizona State. But they're like, we don't know. We don't know how much he cares and all that. And I think that's been a legitimate part of the equation
also,
for him.
He's been a difficult player to, fit in with what you want to do. It's got to be, later in his career, he's fit in a little more. But still, at his best, what do you want him to do? You want him to pound the ball and create for himself. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do that, then, he has good assist numbers, but that generally comes after he, has the ball for a while, and finally they triple team him or something, and he throws it to somebody who hits a shot.
I mean, if you drive 25 times, and 12 of them you go all the way to the rim, and you score 9 of them, and the other 13 you drop it off to a guy, and they score 6 of them, that's 6 assists right there.
Right.
Okay? And so his assists, which I'm not saying he's not creating points, he is, but you're also not getting any flow of the offense when it's just like, that's it. There are no hockey assists. It's like
right.
It's drive and dump.
Because there's not enough time for a hockey assist. And I didn't see that kind of passing creativity out of Peterson.
I didn't either. I mean,
to me, he looked like a scorer.
Yeah.
He looked like a scorer, and he could be a fine scorer. We'll see.
Not to make it a Mizzou thing. You watch Jason Crow play. He can pass. That's a passer and a guy who can find a way to score. I never saw that part of his game in Peterson at any point.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I think what it does is it creates a release valve mechanism for Kansas fans. They can now look at him as just wash their hands of him. No regrets. We can't blame what went on our staff or whatever. This guy's a knucklehead.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think you can just look at it that way. It was a wasted effort.
If they have the same year next year that they had this year, what's the tone and tenor going to be around Lawrence?
Not good. I don't think it's that great right now. I mean, I think people are excited by all the talent they're gathering. But I think there's still a lot of people thinking, well, yeah, good. We've done that before, and what has it gotten us? So
before they added the last kid from, what was it, Radford, who had been at NC State before that, just to be clear. Before they added him, Gary Parrish had him 25th.
Yeah, and I don't know if adding this guy is going to rocket them up. It sounds good, but he's a 19-point-a-game scorer on a team that went 500, so he probably had the ball all the time.
He did shoot. He's not. I don't know why they can't find somebody who can shoot 40% from 3. This kid at least shot like 370 something from 3,
and at volume. So.
At volume against lesser competition.
I know. I don't think he looks like anything special, but he looks like a guy you'd like to have
Could he be Trey White?
As a
I think he could
shooter
be.
off the bench, or maybe the last starter or whatever? Yeah, you certainly. He doesn't look like your leader, but that's supposed to be Stokes. So,
Is it going to be Stokes?
well, it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be another big thing. That's what it's supposed to be. You don't cover a guy's arm with $20 bills just to have him average 7 points a game.
Why 20s, by the way?
I don't know. You wouldn't you just go out and get some fake hundies or something,
Or just
take?
I mean, you've got the money. How many 20s were in the picture?
I don't know. I've only heard about the picture. I
haven't
even seen it.
Like, get the hundies.
Yeah, I would think some bank would give you some hundies. I'll bring them back.
He's got the money. He's got an agent.
Right.
That's what you want to do. Do it right. Yeah. I don't really care. I'm not going to get bogged down on that. That doesn't.
No, but I mean, the early look for him has not been, oh, here he comes, team guy, rock chalk. No, it's rock Stokes. I mean,
Stoke chalk.
Yeah, Stoke chalk.
I mean, the guy. Again, we don't know yet, but the way he handled the reveal, I went, all right, I'm gonna do it at 2:30. No, I'm gonna do it at 5:30 Central. I'm gonna go.
I assume ESPN had something to do with
that.
Probably
did, but even the way he kind of did it and did the whole, opening up a box, you're just like, well, Tyron Stokes likes him some Tyron Stokes, but most great players kind of like themselves some players, so maybe that's not a big deal.
Those things are a bad idea for all of them. He's not the first guy to do that.
No,
so I'm
taking the one hat on and putting the other one off and all that garbage.
Silly,
so, I mean, the proof is just going to be when he shows up. But coming off what you just dealt with, then you got this cockamamie story coming out today, and you're thinking, well, we got the next big thing, and he kind of looks like a dope right now, but maybe he won't be. Maybe it'll be just great. But we won't know that till, when's the season start now? September 15th?
No.
I'm kidding. Thank you. November 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think they would have done, because of what just happened, that on this kid, let's do a little deeper dive and make sure this is the right way to go.
And
they may have, but
I think they did. That's why I think that story on him on The Athletic is a good one to read, because I think it puts some perspective. And they show, the mom says, hey, he wants to be coached hard. I mean, if she's honest and accurate on that, then I think he's going to be really good. If he doesn't, I think he's going to be screaming at Bill Self.
Right.
I mean, he screamed at Jamal Crawford, who was his high school coach, who was an NBA player.
Yeah.
And a good one.
And, basically, and Crawford benched him to start the second half after it, and the kid went out and played hard. So he took that and then kept going. He could have walked out of the gym and I'm on to the next high school. And he didn't. He has been to several,
right.
Should be pointed out.
But that's so commonplace.
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen, if he really wants to be coached hard and is ready to dig in and listen to the KU coaching staff, they can coach. Okay, Bill Self can definitely coach. That staff can coach. And I think it's going to work great. I think he may end up exceeding the expectations, because he strikes me as the type of guy that's at least going to play hard on offense.
Well, the other part is,
and there are times with Peterson, it's like, kind of pound the rock.
How many times did he start a possession?
Peterson?
Yeah, they're sort of playing a weave, and he gets the ball, and
the weave stops.
And he kind of sometimes it stopped, but sometimes he just catch the ball and kind of look and then throw it to somebody else, and that was it for him on that possession.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that too, and I think he will be helped by Peterson. Stokes will be helped by Peterson, because I think that the expectations will not be nearly as high. They'll be like, well, we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
and then if he, there will be no shock factor if he's just okay, or he's good but kind of a problem, or whatever. So I think that he's in a better spot, because the reviews or the previews of Peterson were just off the charts. They were Jordan-esque, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I think I trust that they were scarred during the recruitment and they pressed on with this. So I think he's going to be a different kind of cat. He may have problems in a different way, but
right.
I think it'll end up working out. I want to get your thoughts. Do you like the 76 teams?
No, I hate it.
Why?
Because I do not want to be watching basketball in March and hearing, well, it looks like Vanderbilt needs to get 6 conference wins in order to make it in the tournament. I think that's garbage.
Why?
Yeah, it's more basketball, but whatever. I want the regular season to mean something, a little something. Why should I watch if you can go 6-12 in the SEC and play postseason basketball? Have another tournament for them.
They do.
Yeah, good. That's where they should play. Not the real tournament. Earn something. We're not asking for a lot. We're asking for like borderline 500 in Power 4 conference play. If you're going below that scenario, that's crap. I know you get a couple more basketball games. How many of these games aren't they going to play automatic qualifiers against Power Conference? Isn't it going to be automatics versus?
No,
I don't think so.
It's going to be automatics versus automatics, and then
The 16s are going to play each
Okay,
other.
well that's better, I
Yeah.
guess, but that even eliminates the possibility of fun upsets in that round. I just no. I don't need another first four. I don't need four first fours. It's kind of cute when you got basketball.
You're gonna get 6.
Or whatever it
Yeah.
is, 6. 2 instead of 2, right? Is it 6 instead of 2? Is that right? That's not enough. That's not enough teams.
We're adding 8 teams, right? From 68
yes.
to 76.
Yeah, okay, 8 teams. Yeah, 4 more. I don't need 4 more. Like I said, it's kind of cute, that little doubleheader. 2 nights. Fine. I mean, I could live without that too, but it's all right. I don't need 4 more. I don't need 4 more of those. I don't care.
I'll take them.
I know you will. I know your feelings.
I also think that this is just the way station, and we're going. And I think 96 is probably the spot that they're going to head to. I would like it if they would, we at Thunderdome pull it, if they would give an automatic bid to the conference champion and the tournament champion.
I agree with that. That's how I would expand it, I think. We don't need any more power. We don't need more crappy power conference teams, even if they're better than those teams.
But they are listen. Here's what I would ask people. You can bitch and moan. It's coming. It doesn't matter.
I'm not furious. It's more games, and I might or might not watch, and then we'll get down to the teams that can really win, and so on and so forth.
Well, that's the thing is can they win? The tournament is not about just putting in teams that can win, or we would get away from all the 16s. They're not winning.
That's true.
The 15s aren't. The 14s aren't. But it has been proven that the play-ins can go all the way to the championship game. Butler did it, right? VCU has gone to the Final Four.
UCLA went to the Final Four.
UCLA went to the Final Four.
Right.
I mean, so it is proven that the teams in that play-in range that we have now will be dipping deeper, but there is no doubt that they can make compelling runs in the tournament. So we are not – I'm with you on the let's earn it.
Right. That's all.
I hear you on that. But – the standpoint to me, I would rather be like, okay, let's get the 76 out there and let's get on to getting to 96, putting those conference champions in. Like for me, if you went from 68 to 96, you're adding 28 teams. And if 11 of them every year were the little guys, that's still 17 more for the big guys. Reality is this is the big guys wanting more money. So it's going to happen whether we like it or not. So to me, it's about, okay, let's admit we don't like it. Like I like 64 too.
Yeah.
But I don't ever talk about it anymore because we're never going to have it.
Right. I agree with
so
that.
like
64 is so perfect that it's just like you've got a great product and you've been selling it great for 10 years. You've sold your perfect Captain Crunch for 10 years, and then you just get we better shake it up, Bill. No, we're still number 1.
64 is just like sitting around at our ages and going, man, when I was 24,
Right.
Shut up. Jackass. You ain't going back.
Right. I know
So
that.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't care about the guy who comes over and tells you about his great high school career and how he's going to be. Shut up. I don't care about your high school days. No one does. Right? That's what 64 is. It's gone. It's done. We're living in the now. And the now is that everybody wants college sports. They don't want the Euro style of club sports. They want their college sports. Well, you have to pay people. And so if you have to pay people, you got to find money. And so how are you going to get money? If you don't, this is how they're finding money, is they're expanding the tournament.
I know.
I don't like that the Maui Invitational is probably going away, but Maui needs to get off its ass and find the money to pay teams to come out and pay the kids, or they are going to go away. Just as we, somebody once made a great buggy.
Right.
But when the car came, the buggy company went to crap. It's how it happens. Things evolve. So if that's what has to happen, that's great. But everybody wanted college sports. You could have very easily said when they put this rule in and said, well, we're not going to pay these kids.
Yeah, we're going to just have club sports.
We're just doing club sports. And then you know what would have happened? The NBA and the NFL, the two leagues that really basically just absolutely steal from the colleges by allowing them to be a free minor league for them, would have created real minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what you wanted.
Right.
You want them playing, wearing it saying Kansas on the front instead of the Jedis or whatever asinine, or fun. If you get the right name, lug nuts and different things, like whatever minor league team it would be. This is what you want. You want them wearing a Kansas uniform. Well, this is what has to come with it for you to get that.
Right. That doesn't mean I have to like and I'll say this. It almost ought to be like a rule, an NCAA rule. You're a Power 4 coach. You don't make the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years. Gone. Gone. You are gone.
This will definitely
I'm almost thinking one. One, you are flaming hot seat. Because you don't even have to be good to make the tournament. Oh, he's made 7 of the last 8 tournaments. And? And what? But 2 in a row.
Do you want a cookie?
2 in a row, the door. I'm trying to think of what. I can't think of it, so I'm not going to do it. I read the Guardian has a soccer newsletter, and it's an English phrase. It was like, it's like exit door 1 or something. It must be from an old TV show in England or something. So door 1. Go. Go. Just like, if you miss the tournament 2 years in a row, you just have to resign. We don't even have to fire you. You're relegated. You're relegated. So anyway. But I would like
I do. That is a great point. And I think
this is like the Coaches Protection Act. Let's add more salve for the wounds of the mediocre college basketball coach.
I love it. 2, you're out. That's it.
The door.
The door. I mean, just think how bad that you probably went 5 wins and 6 wins in the conference. But 6 might get you in. I don't know. But if you did that, you 11 conference.
What was Auburn? What was Auburn last year in the league? Look that up.
Let me see.
I think there's been some 7-11s in, haven't there?
Oh, there was a 6 and was it OU made it at 6 and 10?
I think so. Yeah. So you hadn't.
Or it would have been what was it? 6 and 12. Did a 6 and 12 FSU make it, or a 6 and 10 maybe FSU?
There were 7 and 11.
7 and 11.
So if they aren't, but the thing is, if they aren't adding,
because that was one of the teams that was on the bubble that presumably would have gotten.
They're not adding any rules. So this is 8. This is almost automatically 8 Power 4 teams.
Yes.
And it's just
in most years. I think they figured it out.
Maybe one more.
I think they went back. I've read some things where they've gone back X number of years, and it's like 7 out of 8 are coming out of the power leagues.
Right. Maybe one team loses in the conference tournament, and they say, well, they're good enough, and we've got extra spots.
But part of it also is because, number one, the power leagues have absorbed anybody who is pretty good in the mid majors, and they steal all their players.
Right. That's probably another. It's probably another argument for leaving the tournament with that many teams, because maybe have a. Wouldn't it be? I mean, if you want money, I think it'd be more exciting to have like a small conference winners tournament, and only 2 teams make it in, or 1 team makes it in. I don't know. All power teams, and then to qualify for the NCAA tournament, you have to maybe there's 4 teams that bubble up from the dreck of this little tournament I've created. So I don't know.
And if you look at the way they've
because the teams aren't as good anymore. Mid majors just aren't as good anymore. They aren't.
The seeds are going to be added. Obviously, we've always had the 2 11s 11 games and the 2 16 games, 16 seed games. They've added a pair of 12 versus 12 on the at-large, and then the other 16s and the 15s on the automatic qualifiers. Those are all going to be teams that were already in. They're not being added because they never have been added, the 15s and 16s. So as you said, all those 12 teams,
all the new teams are are in the middle,
and they're all going to be those additional 12s. The other 8 teams are just going to be teams that would already get in.
You're just going to take the 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s,
and they're going to
shove them down.
Yep.
You're going to double up the number of 16s. So your 15s are now 16s. Your 14s are now 15s. Your 13s are now 14s.
More Coaches Protection Act.
And your 12s are 13s.
Because you're going to go power against power. Somebody's going to get a tournament win. They count them as those.
They do.
What a bunch of baloney.
But you won't watch the games?
It's not must-see viewing to me. I mean, the first 4 is, like I said, it's kind of cute. If I miss the first game of the night, I don't care. Sometimes I look at the 4, I'm like, you know what, that's kind of a nice game. That looks like fun. Or it's two little tiny schools that have never been in the tournament, and one of them's going to get a tournament win. I find those more interesting, to be honest with you.
Well, those are going to be at like 4 in the afternoon.
Because that's I know, but those are more interesting. They're going
to put Auburn against
right
Villanova as the later game.
Mm-hmm. The automatic qualifier game is going to be during the day, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to start. I think probably like 4 in the afternoon, and be going.
Right, so even more likely I won't watch it. Like I said, I'm not going to I got a DVR Radford against Monmouth.
Ooh.
No.
Which is part of the reason they're doing this.
Yeah.
Are you DVRing Radford against KU? If you're not a KU fan?
No. No, I think some people probably do the whole.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think
because of the potential for a crazy upset.
Only if the game is going on and you're like, oh my God, the 16's hanging around.
Right.
Then you turn it on. But when the game goes the way it usually does, and they're down 16, 7 minutes in, ain't nobody watching that. That's part of the reason.
Time for that.
That's part of the reason why they run 4 games at once.
Right.
I mean, it's the same commercial being sold across all 4 games, and so all they need is for one of them to be good and to keep your interest.
I don't. If they're going to have these extra games, it'd almost be better to somehow plow them into the same window, so there'd be 6 games going at once. So if you get 3 garbage games, there'd still be 3 others.
Outlets, I guess.
It's one of the things that makes the opening round, the first round of the NBA and NHL compelling is they do have to overlap the games, and so you can be like, well, that's 3-0 in that hockey game, but this one just started and it's 1-1.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm over here. Right, and by the way, more and more of the hockey is on over the basketball because the basketball, I mean, I'll give the Lakers credit. They've managed to stay in contact with the Thunder. But if you've been watching those games, it's like, okay, eight to go in the fourth, bye-bye, and the Thunder run away. I mean,
but if only the refs were giving the Lakers a shake. Did you hear that wine fest from J.J. Redick?
Yeah, we got that on tape.
Oh, afterwards? Okay, we'll play it later.
Yeah. By the way,
have fun with that.
Before we go,
it's hard enough to beat him without the 6th man ref. LeBron has gotten a worse whistle than any superstar ever.
Yep.
He said that.
Those are separate clips we got involved. They're kind of fun. By the way, what's
he looks good saying it. I'll say that.
That's for sure. What's weaker sauce? Counting the play-in games as a tournament win or Helms banners?
Which is weaker? The Helms. Come on.
I would say the Helms, but they're both pretty weak sauce. I mean, at least
one they knew what they were playing for.
At least you had to. No, I mean, at least the Helms, you had to be good. To get a pseudo-tournament win, you don't even have to be any good.
Well, at least the playing game.
Somebody had to think you were the best team in the country, even if it was Joe Simon or whoever the hell picked it.
But at least the playing teams know they're playing for a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take a break.
I just wanted to take a shot at Kansas. I never get to.
Danny Clinkscale.
It's bad. The helms are bad. They don't need it. It's ridiculous.
Danny Clinkscale is with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing, offering siding repair and full siding replacement. That's right. Great way to upgrade the curb appeal of your home. Protect your home as well. They've partnered with James Hardie Siding Products. James Hardie Fiber cement is known for durability and long-term performance. Installed according to manufacturing standards, ideal for siding that is rotting, faded, or storm damaged. Designed to hold up to Kansas City's tough weather. See what the siding looks like on your house before you buy. They've got a basically you can see your actual house with what the siding will look like. Paint fade warranties up to 15 years. It's at Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
The program with Soren Petro.
Let me see if I can jump into the middle of a three-way and make that happen.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I don't know about you, but we love to entertain at my house, and one of the ways we do it and do it really well is because of our friends at Applause Custom Sight and Sound. I called Applause Custom Sight and Sound back in 2004. That's really unique. See, in the smart home technology, in-home theater technology, those companies last less than 2 years on average. Applause Custom Sight and Sound has been in business for well over 20 years. Locally owned and operated. They're KC's best when it comes to, like I said, in-home theaters, when it comes to, full smart home integration, full smart office integration. That's right, more and more. Applause Custom Sight and Sound is integrating offices. More and more, that's what you need to do business. If you need a conference room where you can connect everybody from all over the world in one location, Applause Custom Sight and Sound can do it. How about Rocket Fast Wi-Fi? Everybody on the web and getting everything they need quick and easy. Applause does that. I know. I can work outside. One of my favorite things to do is sit out on the patio on a beautiful day and work outside. We've got rocket fast Wi-Fi even outside our house. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what Applause Custom Sight and Sound does. If you want the ultimate when it comes to your TV viewing, how about a football theater? That's what I like to call it. A video wall with multiple TVs, all integrated, all working together, all with just a couple of touches right there on your smartphone. That is Applause Custom Sight and Sound. Don't wait. Call today. Call 913-498-1183. Find them on the web at applausetheater.com. Security surveillance, yep, that's what we just added as well. And because we built it right the first time with Applause, it was cost effective and only took about a day and a half to hook everything up. It's perfect. I can see everything all around my house whenever I want. I even get alerts when somebody walks onto the property. Applause Custom Sight and Sound is Kansas City's best. Call 913-498-1183. Find them on the web at applausetheater.com.
At some point, you stop calling it pain and start calling it just how I am now. That's not okay, and deep down you know it. So let's get started now with an introduction to the medical team at QC Kinetics and their long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain. They're helping patients, just like my wife, with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulder, hips, and lower back. Now they're moving, sleeping, golfing, running without surgery or long recoveries. No operating room, no hardware, no watching summer come and go from a recliner. Just getting back to being you, the version of you that doesn't map out a route based on where you can sit or avoid stairs. And now's the time because the longer inflammation sits, the more damage it does. So this isn't a I'll get around to it situation. Right now is the right time, and the first step doesn't cost you a thing. QC Kinetics. Better starts here. Schedule your free consultation today. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics.
Take a vacation from your bills, pay off credit cards, and save thousands of dollars after a simple phone call to Golden Oak Lending. Visit GoldenOakLending.com to speak to someone today.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937.
Whether your child's
All right, the Twin Peaks, end of the hour answer. Between 1975 and 1982, how many pitchers in Major League Baseball won more games than Dennis Leonard, who won 130?
75 to 82?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
How many won more than
Nolan Ryan?
Nope.
Who?
Well, he won a lot of games.
Yeah.
130.
Well, maybe one or two. Tom Seaver?
I'll say no one.
2. One in the American League, one in the National League.
Not Seaver, huh? Jim Palmer?
Jim Palmer, 134.
And one in the National League. Wouldn't be a Red.
Red's got
Don
to turn
Sutton?
over.
Left-handed pitcher. He won 152.
How many did he win for his career?
Let me see.
Was it kind of
Left-handed-
like Dennis Leonard?
left-handed
That was his
nationally.
window, or was
No,
he?
he was beyond
Left-handed now, Steve Carlton.
that. Steve Carlton.
Yeah, we should have said that quicker.
But only two,
Yes.
only 2 guys in all of baseball won more games in an 8-year span than Dennis Leonard.
I mean, that was one of the most amazing seasons of all time when he won 27 games.
They won 59.
And they won 59 games.
And Leonard Carlton won 27.
Yeah.
So clearly he's probably getting lousy run support, everything.
Leo, by the way, is 75 today.
Is he really? I saw him the other day. He does not look 75.
What a great guy.
Oh, he's a
about,
great guy.
We were knocking around, Kurt and I, Nelson and I, at the game on Tuesday, the what's the biggest what-if type of, injury. And I think it might be Steve Busby. I mean, how good? Maybe they don't go get Larry Gura if he doesn't blow out his arm, but he was so good and still young, and he never got to even pitch on the 76 team. I mean, he was
He might have
23
he might have
game winner.
self-combusted even if he didn't get
Possible, but I would like to have given it a shot.
It wasn't like he was striking out 12 per 9, but then guys went deeper into the games and they had to pace. The strikeout numbers were different then. Only Nolan Ryan was really, and Carlton.
But he was the type of, he got mad when he gave up anything.
Yeah.
So,
Danny Klingscale is with us, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing, founded on integrity. You can find them online at eastonroofing.com. Don't forget they do gutter covers as well. 4 different gutter cover options. You can fit any budget. No more climbing on ladders every fall. Help protect your foundation, siding, landscaping, custom fit and professionally installed. It's Easton Roofing. Integrity matters. Find them online at eastonroofing.com. Danny, how about these boys in blue? Where do you sit on them now?
they're an enigmatic bunch, Soren.
Are they, or are they just a poster child for the American League this year?
I think there is some of that. I think that I think the Royals so far have just not quite been there. And we've played quite a few games now. Are they just going to stay not quite? They get things a little bit going and then something goes in reverse. Or they start to hit a little bit, but nobody hits with runners in scoring position. Or they're pressing because they don't hit with runners in scoring position, so they run into outs. And their starting pitching was fabulous, but they didn't win that many games during that stretch. Now are we going to get in for a little regression, and that's when they're going to lose games? So I think that's way up in the air. So, yes, I think they are a poster child for the American League because I think that many American League teams are just like the Royals, although I think the Royals probably have a little more upside than some of the teams that are playing about the kind of ball that they are. But I'm not sure they're going to realize that upside because within each individual case study, be it Jack Caglione, Vinny Pasquantino, whatever, there's enigmas. I mean, Pasquantino started to hit, but he can't draw, blood with a runner in scoring position. He and Caglione are 8 for 64 with 8 singles.
Yeah.
And you watched a lot of baseball. Do you think that's going to continue? Do you think that's just small sample size? Do you think that's oh my God, they're wetting themselves every time they come up with guys on base?
Well,
I don't think that's the case for Vinny.
I don't think it is the case for Vinny, and I think his expletive-laden explosion after the game yesterday indicates that he's just a frustrated guy. He's a good hitter. If he starts to hit the ball, I don't think it's in his head. It's more likely that it will get into Caglione's head until he can overcome it because he's young. I mean, he comes up.
You didn't have a
after-
3,100 season behind him to
Right.
think about.
Well, he comes up, was it yesterday, after the pitcher throws, 8 consecutive balls, and he rolls over a curveball on the first pitch. I mean, you just spit on a curveball in that situation. Probably don't even swing anyway. Guy can't throw a strike. I mean, just bad, just over-eager. You know, that's what you worry about. That he's up there and he's like, oh, boy, I got to produce here. I've seen these numbers. I read David Lesky.
And I think that was
and Vinny's
play.
a smart guy. He knows he's been, like you said, garbage, hot garbage, or whatever it was, and more with runners in scoring position. And he's the guy. He's right there. He's a traditional cleanup batter in more ways than one. He looks like one. His numbers are kind of like one. He's one guy that people still, have a little bit of affection for RBIs when they talk about him. He was somebody who, I think he thinks about RBIs. He thinks about getting the guy home. How many sacrifice flies did he hit? Which is at least a good thing. It got to the point where you're like, maybe hit that fly out of the park occasionally instead of just getting the one home. But at least he got he has that mindset.
I have literally no bones to pick with how Vinny hits. None.
Yeah.
And I have no fear that he's not going to hit in the long run.
I agree with that. I
don't think anybody gives a crap more. He moved to Nashville because that's where his agent's baseball, facility is, so he could be there in the offseason and work all the time in the offseason. I have zero concerns with Vinny Pasquantino.
Right.
I think he is, for whatever reason, and I think it'll drive him back crap crazy. I guess if I
that's the issue. That's the potential problem.
Yeah. If I were his agent, I'd be like, listen,
relax.
You got to calm down. I mean, I appreciate that every year you're trying to unlock why you get off to slow starts. But some guys just get off to slow starts, Vinny, and you're one of those guys. Like B.J. Surhoff I used to like early fantasy baseball. I would trade for B.J. Surhoff every year because he'd be batting $1 something, and then he'd go on to hit like 290. Meanwhile, the time he was on my team, he hit like 330 because he always started cold. Vinny just feels like that's what he is.
Also, he, as an agent, also should say to him, hey, you can't worry about the fact that those schmoes at the bottom of the lineup can't drive in any runs.
Right.
You just got to do your job. You can't drive in 200.
Yes.
If your 120 RBIs or 110 or whatever you're going to produce isn't enough for this team to succeed, well, then so be it. It's not your fault.
Right. I agree. And so I guess if I did have a concern, what I would voice to him is like, don't beat yourself up. Just do what you do, and you're going to hit.
Right, but
Jack Caglione there's no track record. So Jack Caglione, there's reason to be concerned. But even he, I think, is doing better.
He is doing better, but I think who was the other hitter, probably a much lesser prospect, who just got into the mode of just trying to survive, so he got hits. I can't remember. There was a Royal a few years ago, just like him. And
that sounds familiar.
And I can't think of it. I don't want to dig.
And he wouldn't drive the baseball.
I wouldn't dig for. I don't want to dig for it right now. But Caglione seems to be that.
Was he a real prospect?
I think he was.
Was it the 5 minutes Bubba hit for a little bit?
It was when Moustakas was starting to come out of it.
Oh yeah,
and he was just like hitting softballs to left field.
Yeah,
right. That was it. Yeah.
Like, oh, he's going the other way. Like, well, that sucks.
Right.
This is not 1976.
Because eventually,
and he was not drafted to be a Punch and Judy.
Right.
He's not well, now where is he now? I don't even remember where he is now. The Padre from last year. Marlin Padre.
Oh, Luis Arise.
Yeah, Luis Arise. We did not take him second to get Luis Arise on our team.
Yeah, we don't want.
Because I remember that vividly. Because I'm like, stop acting like this is progress.
We don't want Chandler.
It was,
Phillips.
but
we want. Yeah, and eventually we'd find out that like every one of Moustakas' home run was going to be pulled. So
yes,
every single one. So you don't want him to go to the opposite field because it's
threw the ball well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Mikey pulled the ball well.
Mikey poke ball to left field.
Yeah,
no out.
We'll take a break. One more with Danny Klinkskill. Danny Unleashed for you here on a Friday. Don't forget commercial roofing, repair, replacement. Easton Roofing does that. Dedicated dedicated commercial roofing division they have. They handle repairs and full roof replacements. They work with property managers, building owners, and multifamily properties, making sure that the business is not disrupted, doing everything they can to work around your schedule and make it as pain-free as possible. Call 913-257-5426. Right now, Easton Roofing, the only folks Danny will let on his roof, the only folks I'll let on my roof are Easton Roofing. They're online at eastonroofing.com.
The program with Soren Petro.
Hell no. Okay, that answered your question.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. Mother's Day is for moms, and they should be treated very specially. That's why you need to get your neighborhood hen house. That's right. If you're running around right now figuring out what you're going to do or how are you going to make it all work with all your busy schedule, just get into hen house. How about this? How about a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers? How about some hand-dipped chocolate strawberries? Or how about taking care of dinner for mom? You know, you can get some steaks on the grill. Does mom love steaks? You've got the USDA Choice Certified Hereford beef. It's sold exclusively at your neighborhood hen house, trimmed 1/8-inch trim. Not a 1/4-inch trim like the other guy. So if mom loves a steak, make mom a steak. Get to Hen House. Like I said, the flowers, they're all ready. The floral department is ready to go with beautiful bouquets of flowers. They also have the balloons. How about a Happy Mother's Day balloon? You know, we love to do that in our house because they stay up, you know, for weeks. We're celebrating the fact that we had a Happy Mother's Day. Still got a birthday balloon from Hen House in the house right now from my daughter's birthday. And that's been about, a couple of weeks ago. And every day it puts a smile on my face that we, gave her that celebration. Every day you come down, there's that balloon still up there, still hanging right above the desk where my daughter got to celebrate it. Hen House does those kind of things, and they got everything for mom. Let mom know she's special. Okay, stop by your local neighborhood Hen House today. Get her flowers, get her balloons, get her a sweet treat. Go back to the bakery. They've got all kinds of sweet treats. And if you're throwing a party, maybe a grad party this weekend, don't forget about the delicatessen. All those party trays are perfect for entertaining family and friends. Hen House has got you covered. Listen, they've had Kansas City covered for more than 100 years. Me, my family, they've covered us for my entire life. Hen House is now 100% teammate owned. Go to henhouse.com and check out all the great specials. Hen House, your neighborhood market.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even
Little Danny Unleashed here on a Friday, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. They're online at eastonroofing.com, founded on integrity. No payment collected until you're 100% satisfied, serving the entire metro, including Lawrence and Topeka. Danny, did you see the wonderful treats that we had in here earlier? The friends,
yes.
the folks, our friends at Cedar Crest Lodge.
I have my scone. I haven't had it yet. I just ate lunch, so I think I'll be having a scone this evening. Unbelievable.
So good.
Usually if you have a scone, I like scones, but they're usually dry. They're just dry. They are. And I still like them when they're dry, but they could, you always need to have a nice drink. These are moist scones. They're unbelievably good.
The food there is
ridiculous.
unbelievable.
It's a raspberry chocolate, and the raspberry's raspberry. It's not sugar. And the chocolate's chocolate. It's not sugar. It's
Right.
amazing flavor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Excellent.
They do a great job. The food is unbelievable. They're just about 45 minutes south. Go to cedarcrestlodge.com. You still got a little bit of time to register. Go to our 810 Facebook page. Check out the post we did for Cedar Crest Lodge on Monday afternoon. Like, comment on it. You're entered into the giveaway. It's basically a getaway for two. You can go to cedarcrestlodge.com and learn more. The number 3 bed and breakfast in America. They are fantastic.
They are fantastic. It's a great place to go. They got great hiking trails and pool, massage, sauna, dry steam, everything. It's beautiful sunsets. I mean, it's a great place to ride your bike, fishing, and the food.
Yes, the food is amazing.
The food and
I
accommodations.
start with the food, personally.
Yeah, same.
And all made right there, wood-fired oven, pizza oven, and they'll make anything you want. They're always concerned about my, odd eating habits and make sure they make exactly what I want. So, are you okay with? We know that you don't like. I'd eat I'd eat anything they made.
Nice to know Danny's a pain in the ass everywhere. So go see him. They can even tolerate Danny at the Cedar Crest Lodge.
That's right.
All right, how many players 6'11" or taller have played 36 minutes in an NBA playoff game and gotten just one rebound? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Second half of the program begins right now with the 2-minute drill. It's brought to you by our friends at Joslin's Jewelry. Our buddy Gary Joslin and his great staff voted the #1 jewelry store in Kansas City to do business with. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. Have you got Mom the gift she deserves? How about your wife? Get over to Joslin's Jewelry. They're happy to help you. They're on the southeast corner of 143rd and Antioch. I almost said Metcalf. And Antioch, 143rd. No, not 143rd. What am I talking about? Oh, I've got something else on my head. 95th and Antioch. Excuse me. Southeast corner of 95th and Antioch. I should look at the sheet and just not go by memory. I am getting old. 95th and Antioch. Online at joslinsjewelry.com. Gary and his staff are absolutely outstanding. You'll get the best customer service, the most knowledgeable staff, plus the best selection, most scintillating diamonds. They're at Joslin's Jewelry. Gary gets them all himself. Always new styles arriving each and almost every day at Joslin's Jewelry. So get in there, go see Gary Joslin, and get a wonderful Mother's Day gift for the mom that you're shopping for right now at Joslin's Jewelry. All right, let's get things going with the 2-minute drill. We begin where? We begin right here. In fact, maybe we'll call it Independence as we have some good news here. James Arkell joins us. Chiefs Operating Officer for the Kansas City Mavericks is with us. James, buddy, how are you?
Great, Soren. How you doing?
Doing very good. I know the Mavericks are doing great. First of all, let's talk about where they are now moving on in the playoffs, and we'll get to the good news about where you're going to be playing those playoff games here in a second. But how about those Kansas City Mavericks and their run in the playoffs?
How about those Mavericks, right? Best season in, I would say, franchise history. I know I'm a little biased, but our coach, Tad O'Had, he got Coach of the Year for the entire league, and it's really showing on the ice. I mean, him and the guys have put together a team that is just unstoppable at this point. And we're getting ready to start the second round here in Kansas City, Saturday and Sunday. And speaking of Mother's Day, if you're still looking for a Mother's Day gift, we've got tickets available Saturday and Sunday, and maybe you just take the kids and let Mom sit at home, or you take her and let her have a great time. But either way, it's a great idea.
Yeah, listen, there's not a bad seat anywhere in the house. You can't beat the price. Parking's always free. And, this is regular business, you guys going deep in the playoffs. Since Tad O'Had's gotten there, and he's the Coach of the Year, I mean, this is the only thing he knows as the head coach of the Mavericks.
Yeah, he has just, ever since he took the reins, he has been building a team, and this year is kind of, the proof is in the pudding. They're showing it on the ice, even with some of the players getting injured, some players getting called up. It hasn't fazed him. I mean, the guy's locked in. We do a team dinner before each round, and the guys are all just, they're super happy to be in Kansas City, love being here, and love playing for the Mavericks.
All right, listen, I know the fans love the building. They love the atmosphere, but we were looking at a situation where you were maybe not going to be able to play, but that has been averted. The Mavericks playoff games at home will be. That's the news today, correct?
Absolutely. You're going to hear it here first. We've had a number of contributing factors. This time of year is always tough for the building. It's got to be made clear that, we don't schedule the building. The building is managed by the Oakview Group, and they've got a responsibility to get events and programming in that building, and they were doing what they needed to do. But unfortunately, with some scheduling issues, the home ice was not going to be available. So the way it sits right now is we will be playing our first 2 games of this round at Kansas City in the home ice with the home bowl with fans in attendance. Then we'll go down to Allen, which is outside of Dallas, one of our rivals, for the next 3 games. If it's anything like Tahoe, we shouldn't need all 3 of those, but you don't want to jinx anything.
Right.
Unfortunately, if we come home for games 6 and 7, it just couldn't be averted. There's just nothing we can do. We're hoping we don't have to play those games, but they will unfortunately have to be played on the community ice if they are even necessary, which we're hoping they're not. But the really good news is the city of Independence, the Oakview Group, everybody, they stood up. They knew, they heard the fans. The fans have been amazing. The fans got after it, and because of all of the attention, we were able to reach an agreement where what was programmed for the building has been canceled, and so all of the games of round 3 and any subsequent games will be played in the bowl in front of fans. So that was not going to happen. We were not going to be able to have any of our round 3 games in the main bowl, and we would not be able to have fans. And it's important to note, it's not that there won't be any spaces for people. The team has spent days trying to figure out a way to fairly allow people to attend the game, and there's just no way to do it on the community ice that wouldn't leave people out. And so we made the really hard decision to, we have some requirements per the league as far as coaching and things like that, having people around. But the decision was unfortunately made. Just, there was no way around not being able to have fans if those games are even necessary. Let's hope they're not. I think Saturday and Sunday will be a good indicator of where that's going to go. But the really good news is that we will have for round 3. Very, very much planning to be there, but home ice, and it'll be weekend dates, which are the best of all worlds.
Yeah, that is fantastic, and I feel very confident. I'll say it. I feel very confident you're going to be there. That's where you've been each of the last couple of years.
A lot of people not happy about this, but I'm pretty confident too, buddy.
Yeah, I am too. And let's get a sweep here. Nobody likes Allen, so let's
nobody likes Allen.
Nobody does. Let's get. I know that's a big rivalry game as well, and has been for a long time. So let's get a sweep there, and then we'll keep rolling on, and nobody will feel the disruption at all.
Not at all, no. And it's important. Again, I want everybody to know out there, we love the fans. We can't thank them enough for their support. One of the best parts about this has been, the awareness that Kansas City has now for this team. Caused such an outrage when this happened a few years ago. Nobody would have noticed, but boy, people were up in arms, and it just shows what a great sports town Kansas City is, and how much they love all sports, especially their hockey.
Yep, I agree, and I think this is the year. You guys have been so close here for the last couple of years. I think this is the year. We'll encourage everybody, KCMavericks.com to get all your information, all your tickets. Get it to it right now. They are on a heater. And looking forward to watching all those games that we can, and hopefully it's all of them right here. James, we really appreciate the time, buddy, and best of luck to you and the team, my friend.
Thanks so much. Great talking to you, Soren. Have a great Mother's Day.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
You do the same, absolutely. James Arkell, COO of the Kansas City Mavericks. So they got the third-round games where it's all set, and hopefully they don't need those extra games in the second round. Let's go next to Jacksonville, Florida. Ryan Green, 1010XL in Jacksonville is next. Ryan, how are you, sir?
Soren, I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing very good. Let's talk about the Jaguars draft. Some people are saying it's the worst draft class out there. What's the feeling in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, that's silly. As you know, you can't tell a draft class minimum 2, probably more 3 years down the road. I'll say it was unconventional. There's no doubt about that. They certainly took some guys that we did not have on our radar. They actually did all the positions what I thought they would do. Tight end, defensive tackle, an offensive lineman, a couple of wide receivers. So position needs, I think they filled. They just didn't fill them with guys that we had talked a whole lot about. But obviously people are figuring out that Liam Cohen and James Gladstone do things a little bit unconventionally. They do things their way. And it seemingly worked pretty well last year to go from 4 wins to 13. So I think a lot of Jaguar fans, even though there's question marks, they're putting their trust in what Gladstone and Cohen have already done.
Yeah, and I get that. It was a great turnaround year, but usually that's the easy part. It's maintaining it. It's staying there. As usually when you make those big turnarounds from 4 wins, it's because you've gutted your roster. You had tons of cap room. You've added a lot of talent. Now the cap starts to creep up. It starts to be something you have to be concerned with, and you got to really hit on your draft picks. So this is a big year to see what they will be here moving forward. What are they going to do with Travis Hunter? I mean, there was kind of a perception that based on some of the moves they were making and some of the things we were hearing, he was going to be done as a two-way player, but that's not what James Gladstone says. They're still going with the two-way player idea, right?
Yeah, I've never understood the narrative this entire offseason that Travis Hunter was, quote, not going to play offense anymore. James Gladstone never said that in his season-ending press conference anytime during this offseason. What he said was there's going to be uptick defensively. He's going to get more defensive snaps, which he will. I mean, if you look at the makeup of this roster, there's only one football. They got Parker Washington. They got Jacoby Myers. They got Brian Thomas Jr. They got Brenton Strange. You look on the defensive side of the ball, they did lose Greg Newsome in free agency. There are needs on defense more so than offense. So I think Hunter will play more defensively. But that's not to say, Soren, he's not going to play at all on the offensive side of the ball. He will play on offense. How much does he play? I have no idea. But I think he will be still a two-way player. He will just have more snaps on defense than he did a year ago.
Did Florida want to give Todd Golden an extension? He gets another number one seed after winning the national championship. And by the way, was putting together a heck of a class. He's preseason number one in a lot of the polls. Were they going to give him another contract extension after this year if North Carolina and maybe even Kansas was, possibly going to be open? Was that in the cards, or was that a direct reaction to the fact that UNC was calling?
They were not going to lose Todd Golden over money. Now, if Todd Golden wanted to leave to go somewhere else, and by the way, I think Todd Golden will be in the NBA in about 5 years. I think that's going to be his next stop. I don't think he's going to take another college job. I think ultimately the league will come calling like it did for Billy Donovan. I would be shocked if Todd Golden was the coach at Florida in 5, maybe 6 years from now. But to answer your question, Soren, they were never going to lose him over money. It was going to be that he just simply wanted to be somewhere else. And if you're Todd Golden, why would you want to go anywhere else? You have everything you need in the college game at Florida. You have the NIL resources. You have the facilities. Obviously, what you've done in recruiting, and the fact that Thomas Houck and Alex Condon have already announced that they're coming back. Boogie Fland as well. They're waiting on Ruben Chinulu. He's the last piece to the puzzle. They are going to be very, very good next year. But again, I don't think Todd Golden's ever going to coach anywhere else in the college game outside of Florida. I do think ultimately, though, he will find his way to the NBA.
Yeah, probably so. He's been immensely successful. And like I said, already number one for next year. By the way, are they ready to call themselves a basketball school?
We're getting to that point. I mean, 3 national championships in the last, less than 20 years. I mean, that's rarefied air for a lot of schools. Although, keep your eye on what this cat, John Sumrall, the new football coach at Florida, is doing. For the 2027 recruiting class, they just got another 4-star running back earlier today. They're in the top 10 in recruiting. He's got 40,000-plus fans in attendance for the spring game. Very quickly, John Sumrall has brought excitement back to the Gator football program. Will that translate to wins and losses in September? Well, that's yet to be seen. But it was a bad situation when Billy Napier was fired in December. It's turned out to be a little more exciting in offseason than people realize because of what John Sumrall has been able to do so far.
Brian Green, 1010XL in Jacksonville, Florida. Great stuff as always, buddy. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Soren. Appreciate you, pal.
Joshua Marlowe, WFNZ in Charlotte, North Carolina's next. Joshua, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, appreciate it. The Panthers were really excited with how their draft fell. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle from Georgia in the first round. Lee Hunter, defensive tackle in the second round. They get Chris Brazzell, who a lot of people had ranked even higher than the third round. Some people had him ranked lower because of maybe some maturity issues. What's the feeling in the Charlotte, the Carolinas, as to how they did overall draft-wise?
I think if you're someone that believes in Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, and what they've done for Bryce Young, you understand that this was a draft that the Panthers believe they're well on their way to becoming a consistent contender, and they didn't have to. They could draft for the future. They didn't have to draft for right now. I wanted to get another weapon. I do look at the wide receiver and the tight end room, and I thought they could have added someone there in the first round, and that would have been justified. But you got someone at left tackle that I think is going to be the answer in the long term there over Ike Ekwonu. And, it probably sucks for Ike that an injury maybe forced their hand in going in this way in the first round to draft Monroe Freeling, but I think he's already a better pass blocker today than Ike has ever been. And so I think in the long term, this is going to be a really smart draft for the Panthers. And then the Lee Hunter pick in the second round was my favorite draft selection of their entire draft. I'd spent a lot of the pre-draft process complaining about the loss of A'Shawn Robinson. I thought you had to find a way to replace him, and to get someone that was that impactful for one of the best defenses in the country last year in the second round, I thought it was a great value pick. And that was ultimately my biggest takeaway for Dan Morgan's third draft. I thought he got legitimate value with every single pick. Look at Sam Heck. A lot of people had him as a day 2 selection, got him in the 5th round. So as someone that believes in what they're building, there in Charlotte. I thought it was the best draft we've seen so far. We should see how it translates onto the actual playing field.
All right, Carolina, anybody going to stop them when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs? They're up 3-0 on a Flyers team that was feeling pretty good about itself when it started this series. Is Carolina just red hot and going to ride that all the way to the Cup?
I think they're finally doing what we've expected or what we've been wanting from this core. Because, I think every year under Rod Brindamore, they have advanced at least one round into the playoffs, and that's one of the stats that they have going for themselves right now. But we've come away with some playoff runs feeling empty, like they maybe didn't get as much out of it like we thought they were going to. There's a bunch of different stats going around right now about their historic start to the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're 7-0, but the last team to win their first 7 games, the 2024 Rangers, they don't even make the Stanley Cup final, so hopefully they can break that trend. The crazy thing is what they're getting from their goaltending. Freddie Anderson has been the best we've seen him so far in a postseason run, and you're starting to see some depth. It's not just their best players that are scoring. It's guys on their fourth and fifth lines that are making a different impact for them as well. So if I had to say right now, as someone that parachutes in for the Stanley Cup playoffs, they have been the best team I've seen, and I think they're well equipped to make their first Stanley Cup final since 2006.
What are the early returns on Mike Malone as the Carolina head coach? I know he signed a big Euro center. Do we like what he's doing as far as putting the roster together?
I think he needs to get another big man or two. I think what he was able to add in the backcourt, you bring in Terrence Brown from Utah, Nicholas Abdalas from Virginia Tech, Matt Abel from NC State. I think that backcourt on paper is better than the backcourt that Carolina had last year with the Derek Dixon, a freshman, Seth Trimble. They overpaid for Kyan Evans, but none of that makes a hill of beans if you don't have some guys up front that can handle, getting to the offense and the defensive glass and being able to protect the rim. And honestly, this has been the biggest issue with the Carolina basketball program in the portal era. There's always been they've failed to have roster balance. They've been really good in one area, really deficient in the other, and that's where they are. That's how they're currently constructed. I think they have a backcourt that is maybe top 15 in the country, top to bottom. They have a front court that I don't know if you could put it inside the top 30, 35 in college basketball where it sits right now, and that's including a 5-star in Theon Cada that they brought in from overseas. But he's working his tail off. He hasn't been discouraged by some of their misses, and I do think before it's all said and done, they'll land another big man or two to make Carolina fans feel better about their roster going into year one of the Malone era.
Does their fan base feel like it's just a matter of time before Shire puts it all together and wins a championship, or are they thinking he needs to change something he's doing because they've had such great regular seasons but haven't been able to cash in for a championship?
Because you look at the success, and I don't know across any sport if we've seen someone replace a legend the way that John Shire has replaced Coach K there in Durham. That program hasn't missed a beat in terms of what they've done, recruiting out of the high school ranks. They've been a player in the transfer portal, and conceivably every year they're the favorite to win the ACC, and they're usually on the short list of teams that can win a national championship. With that being said, it was John Shire and the Duke program that their message was, hey, we can't keep doing what we're doing. We have to change because we're not getting the results that ultimately we want to get, that we expect to get. You bring in John Blackwell, the transfer from Wisconsin, arguably the best guard in a lot of people's opinion in the transfer portal. That was a big get for them. And so, I do think it's only a matter of time before Shire does get them back to the Final Four, does win their first national championship since 2015. And I do think when that happens, I heard you on with your previous guest, so we haven't answered the same question Todd Golden will have to answer, because at some point he'll have to tell the NBA no, because it's only a matter of time before they come calling.
All right, we'll see how long that takes. Joshua Marlowe in Charlotte, North Carolina. Great stuff. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, my friend. Brian D, WTMJ in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is next. Brian, how are you, buddy?
I'm awesome. Happy Friday.
I saw a stat that the team that's gone the longest since drafting a first-team All-Pro is the Green Bay Packers. So, is this the year? Did they get it done this year without a first-round pick?
I don't think so, unless Trey Smack, the kicker out of Florida, goes nuclear, which they had issues at the kicker position. I would be really surprised if there's a first-team All-Pro out of this draft class. This was a depth draft class for them, knowing that they got their superstar first-team All-Pro and Micah Parsons when they traded their first-round pick last August. So maybe I'm going to switch my answer and say, yes, Micah Parsons coming off an ACL will be a first-team All-Pro. He'll come back earlier and get that done. That even sounds crazy.
Yeah, but they didn't draft him, so that
is correct.
That would not end the streak.
Sure, that's a good point. So no, I don't think any of these guys, whether it's Brandon Cisse, the cornerback, or some of the pass rushers that they took, this was a depth building draft for the Green Bay Packers, knowing they've got some star players coming off of injury that they hope they can develop some young guys early in the season and then get Micah Parsons and their star tight end Tucker Kraft back at a reasonable point of the season and make a late season push.
And at the top of the draft, it was a defensive draft. I mean, I'm sure everyone will say, well, that's how the board fell and all those kind of things. But was there disappointment they didn't add any firepower to the offense?
I don't think so. I mean, if you think back to last year, they used their first-round pick on Matthew Golden, the speedy wide receiver out of Texas, who had a pretty underwhelming rookie season, but came on late in the season and scored a great touchdown in the playoff loss to the Bears. So I think they're hoping he takes a big step in his second season. They needed some defensive depth, especially at cornerback. I mean, when you're rolling out guys like Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine, who we like in Green Bay, but you put them on any other NFL roster and they're probably third and fourth DBs and special teams contributors, you've got a problem. So I think they really needed some young lifeblood into their defense, especially into the secondary, because they attacked the defensive line like we talked about with Micah Parsons last offseason.
Yeah. All right. New contract for the head coach, so I don't think there's any pressure there. We'll see what they can put together now in what is now, one of the better divisions in football when the Lions don't make the playoffs because the Bears and the Packers have knocked them out. That's a pretty tough division that they've got. And the Vikings are no slouch either. So it's a difficult division. We'll see what they can do this year. The Brewers also play in a difficult division. The NL Central is like the only good division in all of baseball right now. Is it still confidence that the Brewers will be at the top of it when it's all said and done, or are we getting worried with how well everybody else in the division's playing?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's 1,000% worried yet, just because injuries are never an excuse, but they can be an excuse so far this season. Christian Yelich has missed some time. Jackson Chourio has missed some time. Brandon Woodruff, their ace, if you will, has missed some time now. They've been really banged up in the early portion of this season. Excuse me, and I think they're hoping against hope that if they get their two offensive superstars back, they'll start to score some runs and support that starting pitching a bit. So it's still really early, and you're right. Like 19-16 anywhere in the American League is probably pretty good, right? But it's good enough right now for fourth place and half a game out of fifth in the NL Central. So they've got some time to make some games up, especially if they get healthy. Injuries have been a huge part of the early season story for the Brewers.
All right, tell me, Angel Zerpa goes down with the Tommy John surgery. Isaac Collins was, I think, fourth in the NL Rookie of the Year award, and Nick Mears also came over in that deal. People a little frustrated that Angel Zerpa's under the knife now?
It just is what it is, right? Like, I think they obviously wanted to get more out of him, but it's not like an insignificant, maybe I should get it, maybe I shouldn't surgery, right? Like, Tommy John is Tommy John. It's either you're in or you're out under the knife. Obviously, they wanted things to work out, but again, like you and I have talked about this a lot in the past, and the Brewers can't operate like everybody else. It's very Royals-ish, if you will, right? Like it feels like the Moneyball quote: "If we try to play like the Yankees in here, we will lose to the Yankees out there." That's how the Brewers have found success for the last decade. Here is they trade guys before they're supposed to be traded. They part ways with guys. I was having a conversation with somebody on our team today with the Yankees in town here in Milwaukee for the weekend about who the next Brewer that's going to be a Yankee is, and we kind of giggled and said it's going to be second baseman Bryce Terang when he signs for $300 million in free agency 3 years from now. But somebody said to me, they'll probably trade Bryce Terang before he ever gets to free agency because that's how they operate. So I think there's just like an understanding that that's what the Brewers are going to do, and you have to live with the consequences if some of the guys that you get in return get injured. There's nothing you can do to control that.
All right, one more question I have to ask you, and we ask it all the time. Can you guess what it is?
Is Giannis going to get traded in the next 3 weeks?
The latest is that the owner says he wants the Giannis thing cleared up by the draft. I don't know how that can be cleared up any other way other than trading him away. You tell me. Am I reading that wrong?
No, not at all. I think this ship has sailed. I've been pounding that drum for a while. Quite frankly, this has gone on longer than I thought it would. And it was particularly telling. The Bucks hired Taylor Jenkins earlier this week as their next head coach and introduced him as their next head coach in downtown Milwaukee on Wednesday. And obviously the question was asked of, was Giannis included in these conversations? And do you think you'll be coaching Giannis this year? Any way you could phrase that question to the new head coach. And Jimmy Haslam, who obviously has an infamous history with the Cleveland Browns, and their general manager, John Horst, and Taylor Jenkins all avoided that question like the plague. So it seems pretty clear. You can read what they're not saying, and what they're not saying is we are not anticipating him coming back. This is probably the time where we cash in the Giannis chips on a big trade after the draft lottery here and see what we can get.
Okay. All right. We'll see where he ends up when it's all said and done. We always end up in a better place after talking to you, Brian. We appreciate it. Great stuff as always. Enjoy your weekend, my friend.
You too. Thank you.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. How many players 6'11" or taller have played 36 minutes in an NBA playoff game and gotten just one rebound?
Is this DeAndre Ayton?
Mm-mm. It happened last night. Evan Mobley for the Cavs got one rebound.
I'm reminded. Was it offensive? Please tell me it was offensive.
I didn't look.
I'm reminded of when I was covering Syracuse.
That's right. That's my reference. I go one rebound.
When Conrad McRae, R.I.P., 6'10", I think he might have been in McDonald's All-American even, kid had 4 rebounds, all offensive. Because he loved the putback dunk. He loved to dunk.
That's right.
And Jim Boeheim sits in the postgame press conference and goes, "No defensive rebounds? None." He's like looking at the stat sheet. And a dead man could get a defensive rebound. So if Evan Mobley's one rebound was
on
the offensive end, then we could invoke Jim Boeheim's a dead man.
Mobley was defensive. Darn it.
Well, I guess proving Jim Boeheim's point.
Yeah,
he was basically a dead man on the floor, and he got a defensive rebound.
One board.
How many 6'11" or taller?
How many ever? Yeah, 36 minutes, 6'11" or taller, one board. We know it's been once.
I think it's just one.
It's actually 2.
Oh.
The other one goes way back, almost 40 years. Utah, L.A. Lakers, Game 7, 88 Western Conference semifinals. That was the year that...
Wait, what year?
88. That was the year the Lakers played 3 7-game series. They got down 2-1 to Utah.
So it's either Thurl Bailey or Mark Eaton.
Thurl Bailey.
Okay.
Thurl Bailey. That was the series where the Lakers won Game 1 at home, lost Game 2, then lost Game 3 on the road, and they were playing Game 4 on a Sunday or something. Like, are they going to go down 3-1 to Utah as the defending champion? They won that game. They ended up taking them to 7, but they beat them by, I think, 12 or 13 points in Game 7. Thurl Bailey, one board. In
Thurl Bailey's defense, he really was the small forward for that team at 6'11". He may have even come off the bench then, but there for a while they started Thurl Bailey 6'11", at the small forward. Karl Malone, who was only 6'9", but he was 260 pounds and a block of granite.
Yeah.
An athletic, tremendous all-time player, maybe the greatest true power forward. This Tim Duncan, the best power forward. My ass, he's a center. But Karl Malone would play, and Karl Malone played always next to a guy that was even bigger than him. So he was definitely the power forward. So I definitely think the mailman was the best true power forward of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But then also on the floor was 7'4", Mark Eaton.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mark Eaton and Karl Malone are on the floor with you,
you should be able to.
That is not what's on the floor with Evan Mobley.
No. Evan had a lot more opportunities than Thurl Bailey had.
Don't get me wrong. Jared Allen's a good player, and he'll hit the glass and block some shots and play some defense. I mean, I like Jared Allen. You know, I kind of like him as a fantasy player, but he's a better real player than he is fantasy player. But 7'4", 290, and 6'9", 270, we're playing next to Thurl Bailey. By the way, the other thing about Thurl Bailey, the other note since you brought it up, since we're talking Thurl Bailey here.
Why not?
Why wouldn't you on a Friday in
Kansas
88 City?
Jazz, you know.
That, what was it, 83 NC State team?
State, yeah.
You know, it's such a great Cinderella story. They had a good backcourt, of which one of them did kick around the league for a little while.
Was it Wittenberg or?
It was Wittenberg or was it Wicks? No, not Wicks. Wittenberg and
Lowe. Sidney Lowe.
Sidney Lowe.
I think it was Sidney Lowe.
Okay. Kicked around the league for a little bit. Then they too, Thurl Bailey was probably the wing on that NC State team. I don't know. Their guards are like 6 foot, 6'1", both of those guys. But up front, they had 6'11" Cozell McQueen, 6'8" Lorenzo Charles, who was really the power forward, and then Thurl Bailey at 6'11".
Yeah.
Kind of tough to be a Cinderella team when in 1983 your front line goes 6'8", 6'11", 6'11", isn't it?
I think so.
Or is it just more a mark of like guys played 4 years then, so you could accumulate real size?
Yeah.
The teams were bigger back then. One, everybody just pounded the ball inside.
And they had Landon Turner, who's at 6'10".
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they had some dudes.
Yeah.
Had some dudes inside.
Like, I think in reality, the story of NC State should not be their Cinderella run through the tournament. It should be like, what were you doing during the regular season?
Come on, Jim. I remember that 88, that Jazz team, they kind of out of nowhere, and no one had ever really heard of Karl Malone and John Stockton. At least Stockton they hadn't. And that conference semifinal series, when Lakers got up 1, they're like, man, they'll put this team away. And they won. Like all anybody could talk about was just how good Stockton and Malone were. And Frank Layden coaching was obviously the quote machine, and they became kind of one of the darlings. But that pairing on a national scene, the birth of Stockton Malone was in that series. And probably the best in a series they lost. They kind of gained their launch into the stratosphere.
Do you know that? God, what was the owner's name? It was a car dealer. If you go to Surprise, Arizona, the family name, maybe it's not on it. I think they may have sold those car dealerships, but they were car dealers was their trade, and all over the West, particularly the Southwest.
Larry Miller.
Yeah, Miller, all the car companies. Miller was devout in his faith. He was a Mormon, and they were the only team that didn't basically use the IR as an extra roster spot.
Right.
Extra couple of roster spots.
Right.
Like everybody would massage the IR with that guy's got a tight back or he's got a sore hammy or whatever it is, and they'd stash a guy in the IR. He would not allow his team to cheat. And that he saw that as cheating. And he's like, I don't care that everybody else does it. We're not doing it. So they, to a degree, I'm not going to say played with one hand behind their back. Yeah, but maybe 2 fingers taped together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the most important thing you do as an organization. But they did speak to, he said, if we win a championship, I remember the interview, if we win a championship, we will know that we did it the right way. No one will ever be able to take away our championship. And he didn't.
And they just had, there are a lot of teams in the history of any sport where you look at them and you go, man, just a bad time to be good. For them, 97 and 98 was a bad time to be good. Because that 97 team,
well, they were good.
Was the home team. Anybody but the Bulls, they're hoisting a trophy, but they had to run into the Jordan.
I think their problem was not taking advantage of 95 and 96 the way the Rockets did. That was their problem.
Yep, and they ended up knocking off Houston, I think in 97. Well, one of the years when the Stockton hit the last second shot to win a series there. But yeah, they had those two for all that time, and when they finally got to the peak with we're in the finals, they had to go up against one of the greatest the dynasties of the history of basketball.
Kyle, are you familiar with John Stockton?
I am.
You know who he is? Do you remember did you ever see him play? Do you remember him actually playing live?
Oh, no.
No? Okay, that's what I thought I was going to say. The most notable thing of John Stockton were the bikini underwear he wore as basketball shorts.
Yeah. Oh. Even for that time.
He was one of the last guys to wear the short shorts.
Yeah, we wear short shorts.
Yeah. So.
And Malone was just a beast.
I don't know what was going on societally, certainly not fashionably, for like when did the NBA really got going? The 40s is when it technically became the NBA. It was something, the BAA, I think it was before that. But when the NBA was born in the 40s. And from that point until like 1984, they had no mirrors. I don't know who thought, all our guys are extraordinarily, awkwardly tall.
Yes.
Let's make sure the shorts are not.
Let's put them in
what
booty
was
shorts.
the logic behind that?
Let's put them in booty shorts. Why not?
I don't know, maybe freer movement.
And then,
does that sound freer to you?
It's like less free. And then
I don't know how.
Then
listen,
they totally went the other direction. You see that in the '90s, and there's guys have the shorts would go below their knee. You're like,
yeah,
are those shorts or are those like pants? Are you wearing capri pants?
I don't
loose
know.
capri pants.
And maybe I just need to go back and watch like a 1974 NBA or ABA game. I don't know how everybody wasn't clawing at their, trying to adjust wearing those shorts. I really don't.
I don't either.
Like you just look at it now and you're like, and I recognize I wear big shorts. Okay, like clearly, the league is not filled with people built like Kurtis and I.
No.
Okay, so I get the waist. The length was long. The waist was narrow. I got it. But still, I don't know who went, yeah, I'm going to put a pair of these on. This is a plan right here. I barely had room for a stripe.
Yeah. This picture of Julius Irving.
Yeah.
Like, how?
I mean, they were like running shorts, like marathon runners wear, And somebody went, yeah,
that'll work.
That's a good look.
That'll work.
Let's show some thigh. You know who liked those? You know who liked those shorts? You know who liked the league back then? You know who did? Sterling. You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier, Thunderdome. We're still working. We know you ain't.
True
Ain't
story.
nobody in this town worked past like 3 on a Friday except us.
True story.
Thunderdome, real quick. Take a trip through sales. Give me a head count. How many people you find back there? Over, under, 1/2. 1/2.
I think that's fair.
I bet Paul's still here.
Really?
Either Paul or Luke.
Get names. Get names if anyone's there. And ask them what they do. Forget their wallet and have to come back? I don't know if it's like that in your office, people, but that's how it is in ours.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in this building but us. We rule the roost on a Friday afternoon. Kevin Harlan, still to come here in the program.
Yep.
Calling games.
Think of what this week has brought you. And Kevin Harlan's still to come.
Hmm?
That's like, it's like finding a $5 in your I still got money left. Cool.
$5. Showing your age there.
Yeah, Kevin's
The
brother.
hell you buying with a 5?
Yeah, that's true. A gallon of gas.
I was my God bless her, wonderful woman, my great aunt, R.I.P. How would have
Dorothy?
been? Aunt Dorothy.
Oh yeah,
you were at her funeral.
Yep.
She died 19 years ago, at almost 101. So, I think the last time I got a birthday gift from my great aunt, I was 34, 35.
Yeah.
$5. Check. A $5.
Love it.
I owned a home. I was given a $5. It's a wonderful woman.
Yep.
And the 5 meant a lot to me because
of who it came from.
Well, because of who it came from, and because at that point you're like, listen, we don't do gifts anymore, Aunt Dorothy. Like, you're old, I'm old. You just the card is nice.
Yep.
Just an attaboy, That's all you need.
No, I'm giving you a $5.
Typed. Check was typed.
Nice.
She put it in her typewriter. Chink, chink. Manual typewriter. Chink, chink.
That's fantastic.
5, 0, the odd little numbers that a typewriter
Wasn't no
would produce in it. No. $5 check. And you're talking about a woman who in her youth survived the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And, I don't think her and her husband ever made a whole lot of money, but she never needed anything because they saved every freaking nickel. She was traveling all over the world. I went to every continent but Antarctica. Went through the Suez and Panama Canal. Took a 9-month cruise around the world, like basically riding on container ships. Like back then, I don't know if you can still do. My attorney actually heard me tell the story once before and told me that this is true. That you can still do this. Like you get on those. I mean, unless you're, stuck in the wherever over by Iran,
yeah.
Can't get out. But you get on one of those ships and like you can book passage on that, and so then you go into port and they sit there for 3 or 4 days waiting to leave off their cargo, and so then you walk around Tokyo or you get a hotel for 3 or 4 days there. Then you get back on the ship and they go to the next port. Did that for 9 months. But $5.
$5.
$5.
I would have never cashed that check.
We have a final count from Thunderdome.
What do we got?
We got Chad, Corey, and Alex back there.
Alex is not sales. Alex works for a
she's
living.
back there.
I know, but she works for a living.
She does stuff. She's always getting stuff done.
The over hit in a big way.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, won. Guarantee it. Did you ask if he lost it? Did he forget his wallet? He's back. Left really 3 hours ago. He's just rummaging through his desk looking for his wallet. Guarantee you that's what's really going on. I'm getting together a big package. Put it in front of a client Monday morning at 8. Mm-hmm.
All right, what 2 men coached for the most NFL seasons before winning their first Super Bowl? I'll take one of the 2. Brought to you by Lafayette Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now, right freaking now. Hour number 20 of the week. Still going strong here.
Yeah.
With nary a single salesperson in the building, and we're still getting it done.
Only
it's
management.
It's amazing.
Which is maybe even more amazing.
At
least on the south end.
Go check that end. See how many doors are open. Thunderdome.
That's
see what
the
we
other
got
thing
down
you
at
do.
that end.
Yeah, we get into May, 5 o'clock. You go just check executive row and see.
Yeah.
I know one door that will be open. Drake's always leaves his door open. Usually that's the one that's open. The rest of them are all closed.
I tell you what, you can tell that Alex actually does work because she came back here and said, "What do you guys need?"
She's the best.
When we sent Thunderdome through, she said, "Oh, they need something from back here." Where would we be without her? I'll tell you that.
Just to chip off the old block.
That's right. That's right. Second generation union broadcast employee. Second generation.
Yep.
So
Dad
impressive.
never worked as hard as she does.
No. He's a mail-in guy.
I don't know where she got it.
He's a mail-in guy. That's good guy.
Yeah.
But he mailed it in.
Krista is here as well.
Okay.
Oh,
see?
Chris is, that's the one.
Are you noticing a trend of who works hard here?
Nobody.
I mean,
walks,
besides us.
Yeah.
We're first one in, last one out.
I'd be willing to bet that
we get here at 5:15. New Day ain't even here.
I would bet that besides maybe a few of us, nobody walks out to an empty parking lot more frequently than Krista.
Yes, I would agree.
Because we are late. I'm like, she's still here.
So tip of the cap to Alex and Krista.
Yes.
Working hard here on a Friday. All right, let's get you the things you need to know. It's brought to you by our friends at Applause Custom Sight and Sound, Kansas City's best when it comes to your smart home technology, your in-home theaters. More than 20 years, Applause has been making it happen. They are outstanding. Had it in my old house. In fact, they helped us sell our old house with the ability to turn everything on all with the press of a button. Hey, they're coming to look at the house. Boom. Had it wired up to press one button, turned everything on in the house.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. The Applause Custom Sight and Sound, find them online at applausetheater.com. Great smart home technology, like the ability to literally press one button and turn everything off or turn everything on. However you want to program it, they can program it. Lighting, surround sound, music, streaming, televisions, in-home theaters, video walls, you name it, they do it. Do it better than anybody else. That's why they've been in business more than 20 years. Find them online at applausetheater.com. Royals making some moves today. If you missed it earlier, they have sent out Eric Sarantola. That was brief.
Mm-hmm.
And they have IL'd Cole Reagans. In their place, up comes Steven Cruz, and back comes Stephen Kolek. I'm not so sure that Stephen Kolek wasn't hanging around the clubhouse. They even send him back to Omaha?
I don't know. I kind of posted something when Reagans left the game 2 nights ago. Just
but even before that
image of him, of someone going up 29 and hanging a U-turn.
But he was in for Noah Cameron.
Yeah.
And they didn't know yet, and I still have not stated as to whether or not he'll start.
Right.
So I doubt he even went to Omaha. But
probably not. Probably said, hey, hang out here for a bit. We'll save you some gas.
I'm trying to remember. My wife and daughter always stop. I'm trying to remember the town. Mound City. Mound City's pretty much like halfway. I wonder if all the guys stop in Mound City. If you need a beverage,
there's also a
some
Mound
gasoline,
City South,
and or a combine. Nice big old combine dealership right there in Mound City. So, hello to Mound City. I've gassed up in your fair town a number of times.
I haven't seen anything. ESPN's actually here we go. Andy Rogers, Noah Cameron will slot back into the rotation on Sunday.
Okay, so Cameron's back, and that means Kolek will pick up Reagan's slot.
Yep.
Then on, did we look up if they were off Monday?
I think
or
they
not?
are off Monday.
But Kolek will then grab Cole Reagan's slot. So that's good news. Noah Cameron back, some more
for sure.
Royals moves. Also, Carlos Estevez returned from his rehab assignment. I don't think that's a positive.
No.
So it means he's not rehabbing anymore. It means he's back to being hurt, which we knew because he left the game because of it.
Yeah, I would assume Kolek will go on Tuesday night in Chicago against the White Sox because they were off on Monday.
They are off on Monday. So
Yeah.
Kolek would go Tuesday against the White Sox. There you go. All right, let's hear some Matt Quatraro just moments ago. Our Todd Lebo there for the pregame festivities. Quatraro was asked how long he expects Reagans to be gone.
I think it's going to be a minimal stay on the IL, but he needs to be shut down 3 to 4 days, and then we'll get him on the mound again, bullpens, and we'll see how it goes. But because of that, we're not, we don't want to go short. And Kolek had just been here, and it's a natural fit to bring him back.
What are the next steps for Cole, in the immediate next couple of days?
He'll have 3 to 4 days no throw, and then hopefully a quick ramp up back to getting on the mound, bullpens, and then see, again, it's like any other rehab. You have to see how he feels that day and then the day after, and then you keep progressing. So we don't have any particular timeline filled out, but we're hopeful that it's not much more than 15.
With Cole and with all these guys, and they want to come back and play, how much do you guys have to build that trust with them to know how they actually feel? Seems like he was really honest with you guys the other night with what he felt. How important is that when you go through all, especially the rehab part of it, how they're feeling?
Oh, extremely important. I mean, they drive, we have a protocol in place for all these different types of injuries that KT and Blummer and those guys have, but it relies on the player. You can have something written down, but if they don't feel like they can do that, then you have to, scale back. And if they get ahead of schedule, you push a little bit more. But the communication is paramount.
Okay. Not sounding too down. Got to shut him down for a few days. I think it all matters on I think that's the plan, but if after 4 days he's still feeling it, then I think you go, okay, we've got something more. We had Jeff Passan on yesterday. If you missed it, catch it the 5 o'clock hour, the Hour 4 podcast of yesterday's show, and Jeff Passan talking about, well, that's connected to the ulnar collateral ligament.
Yeah.
So he said it's not the best diagnosis you could get, but hopefully they caught it quick.
I doubt we'll be almost at the end of his stay and not know. I think we're going to know within 5 or 6 days if it's going to be 15 or if it's going to be longer, because as you said,
they don't have a 15-day deal.
Not 15. I mean the 10. I don't think we're going to be waiting to the very end of that to see is he going to be back then. I think they're going to find out pretty quickly what did the rest do, and one or the other. I think we're going to hit that well before the 10 days.
Well, they're going to shut him down for 4 or 5 days. I mean, okay, that's great. Then it could just be a 10-day stint. Then okay, we shut him down, feels good, let's go through the regular throwing program. Then I guess it could just be a minimum 10-day stay.
Yeah.
If he's still feeling it, it's going to be longer.
Yeah. And we'll know before that 10 days is up.
Cole Reagans was asked how he feels, right now, knowing he's going to be out for a little bit.
I mean, to say I'm not pissed off would be a lie. It's never fun to go in the IL, but pretty optimistic about it. Pretty optimistic that I'll bounce back pretty quick and, slot back in. Did all the testing stuff. Everything came back good. Like I said, pretty optimistic about it.
What are the next steps for you, in the immediate next couple of days?
I'll start playing catch and go from there.
You said you'd had a feeling that you'd never had before the other night. Did it go away?
I didn't feel it in between, outings. I don't feel it right now, so I'd say it went away.
Have you talked to anyone who's had this kind of same thing before, gotten any tidbits?
No, I haven't. I'm just going off of what the trainers tell me to do.
All right. Not happy.
No.
Not
thrilled.
Happy.
But as he said, it kind of feels pretty confident. It's not going to be a long stay. Same thing Matt Quatraro said. So the pain, the thing he said he hadn't felt before, then I guess I don't feel it right now.
But he did say he's pretty optimistic. Yeah. So hopefully that will be the case. Carlos Estevez, we mentioned, coming back from his rehab assignment. Matt Quatraro's asked how Estevez is handling it.
Yeah, I mean, he takes it in stride. He's a pro, but it's disappointing for sure. I mean, he was really looking forward to getting on the mound in AAA and getting ramped up and back here quickly, and obviously that's not going to happen. So he's disappointed, but if anybody can handle it, he can.
I believe that.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Veteran dude. Seems to be pretty laid back. Kind of even keel.
Well, it's just important you added the back.
I needed to add another word there.
Yeah.
Or else it would have been something else.
Why, Kyle and I both went, gave you the sideways dog look, We're doing this?
Are we really doing this?
The Royals right now find themselves in fourth place. They're 2.5 back of the Red Hot Guardians, who have won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they're red hot when we play them.
They are 20-19. In between the Royals, and by the way, they're only a game up on the Twinkies, who are in last place. In between the Royals and Guardians, the White Sox are a half game in front of the Royals at 17-20, and then it's these pesky Detroit Tigers. 18-20 are the Tigers. They're a game and a half out. I think it's pretty clear that this is an important series. Matt Quattro's asked, how important?
Yeah, they're challenging because they match up, well up and down the lineup. They have a lot of talented pinch hitters on the bench. It makes it a difficult matchup for the bullpen. And they play good baseball. They run the bases well. They play good defense. So there's a lot of things that you have to do to beat these guys.
They're a good team.
Oh, show. The Royals have had their problems with them.
Yeah. This is an important series. Like, no need to panic. We've seen that. They lost a couple with the A's, turned around, won 5 in a row. So losing 2 games is not the end of the world. This team has proven that they're at least a solid club. We'll find out if they're a good or very good or great club as the season progresses. But don't want to go to 3.
No. Favorite tonight, you'd like to see Kris Bubic go out there and dominate. And then you win that game, then you feel pretty good about Saturday. A little better about Saturday. And what's their favorite again? It's going to be Waka against undecided for the Tigers. And Sunday, if things go well, you're going for the sweep. But
I would assume the Tigers have a youngster they're going to promote into that slot. But maybe it'll be a bullpen day.
Yeah.
But they've had long enough
But
of
they're
school. I think they've got to be getting to the plan, whatever the plan's going to be.
They're listed as undecided on both.
Loose bodies
Saturday
in
and
Seaboldt's
Sunday.
elbow is not like, oh, let's just see.
Yeah.
No, he's out.
Loose bodies. Like, that's not.
Isn't that what they said?
Yeah. It's just loose bodies.
And to be clear, that's not a whole body. It's not like there are dead bodies in his
there's
elbow. I just want to be
actual
clear.
human beings.
It's just bone fragments.
Yeah. Elbow's not that big.
Yeah. Bubic versus Montero, as you pointed out, KC minus 142. I'm going to get down on the Royals tonight?
I am.
Are you?
I believe the weekend mojo thing.
Big chunk of change, huh?
I believe in more or less more than that. I believe in the left arm of Kris Bubic.
That's funny. I believe in Kris Bubic as well. That's why I went ahead and got him, even though it took an AB contract. 2 years. 2 years guaranteed.
Oh, the AB contract.
The AB contract stuff.
Whew.
You know, you don't want to get stuck with a bad player
No.
when you have to keep him. He's uncuttable. So I went all in for $11.
That's a lot.
Well, I kept the price down at 11 because I put him on the transition tag, so you'd have to keep him for 2 years. Scared people away.
I have no idea what that's about.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I know. I was trying to figure. Oh man,
Since you're enjoying that
I know what the
conversation-
AB conversation is. I know what the AB contract is. I know what you mean by that.
Yeah,
I've heard
2
that
years.
enough times. Yeah,
Well, A year, B year.
but I don't know whether $11 is that a.
You used to
You got a
run
nice-
the auction.
I didn't
You know what's
pay
expensive.
any attention. I didn't pay. I would just. My only job of that was to make sure I got.
We were paying you, weren't we?
Yes, but my job was not
Pay
to
attention.
My job was not to assess what positions went for how much money and assemble a team. My job was who was to, when you tied with someone, I gave it to you.
That is so not true.
Yeah. I actually would do. Sometimes I would do the opposite. It was like, I gotta take one. They can't make people think I'm in your pocket. So,
anytime because you know,
you rarely tie with anybody because you were either waiting it out or you were hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. So you weren't usually going back and forth with somebody. I didn't have to worry about that too much.
Curtis, if people who don't know, he was our auctioneer. We do an auction in our fantasy leagues, and so he would be like going once, going twice. You know, now it's all done online. Now you can do it online. They didn't used to do it. We've been doing this for so long, and so Curtis would be the auctioneer. And if two guys would, go is it 24 and like 25, say at the same time, Curtis would have to determine who it was.
Yeah.
And he screwed me every time.
Yeah, that one and it would be the once, twice whether they got the price.
Did they get it in before?
I said sold.
He said sold.
Yeah.
And oh man, there'd be some fights.
But there would be a conscious effort regardless of who it was. If I felt like, man, that was on the nose, really close, and they didn't get it, I remember who it was, and the next time it was close, if it was the same close, I'd give it to them. I tried to play it out to where it
make
was
good
even.
calls.
Well, it's impossible to make that call, or you can't replay it.
So
But
you're
that
good
didn't-
with make good calls from the officials then?
No, because they're professionals.
You were our official.
I'm not a professional though.
As far as we were concerned, we were paying you. Isn't that the definition of a pro?
$10 an hour.
$50 each league.
Yeah. It was the entrance.
You know what
fee.
that is? You know what that was? 10 birthdays from my Aunt Dorothy.
True, that's true.
10 birthdays.
It was the entrance fee, which is a great value if you were actually wanting to be in the game.
Great cash, homie.
That's right, man. Don't kid yourself. I think we bought you lunch too.
Oh, sure.
And you've certainly feasted on everything. We always do Friday night and Saturday morning because we do an AL and an NL. It's
A couple times we had to do it differently, but usually it's Friday night, Saturday
sometimes
morning.
we've done both in the same day.
In 2009, we did them both on a Saturday, sandwiched around Missouri, UConn, and the Elite Eight.
We shut down for that. Well, we also
once when it was a snowstorm.
Didn't we have to shut down once for KU Michigan too? When Michigan beat KU with that long 3? I think we shut down for that too.
Might have. I also remember that
was a Friday night.
I remember one of our team is a huge Carolina fan.
Yeah, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, and
an A's fan. He's the A's fan that does not recognize their time in Sacramento. He's a little insane.
We had a timeout, and the Carolina kicked one away. It's just bobbled one out, and then we had to go from that into the auction. And I was like, okay, well, make sure to let Dennis have a call or two. I don't want that dude mad at me.
Dennis is the guy in the league who his team name changes throughout the year.
Oh, yeah.
To Kate Cavalli, you are the fat POS that I thought you were. You know, like that was his team name for a little while. He dropped him. I picked him up.
Fun times.
Well, I'll take a shot at this POS, you know.
I wouldn't want to do
got
that.
some stuff.
I wouldn't want to do that again, but it was some of the best stories I have are from those weekends. Those are looking back on. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. So did I play the Vinny cut or
that's
not?
very
I
much
can't
like
remember.
Vinny. No, we didn't.
No, we have not played Vinny yet.
We haven't played Vinny yet. All right.
I'm not sure how we got onto that, but
I
it's
don't know. I
fun.
don't know either. Would it have something to do with the game? Well, who's pitching?
Somebody-
Bubich.
Bubich, yeah.
So Bubich, let's go.
AB contract.
Need the win, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw some BBs.
Need the dub.
Some P's. Let's have it. I got a lot of Royals on my team this year. I paid
interesting.
$49 for Bobby Witt Jr. Traded for Jack Caglione last year. That's why I have stupid Luis Castillo on my team. I had to take that turd contract from Dennis.
Yeah.
Can't go 5 seconds without that guy rearing his head in my life. I got Carter Jensen, 16. Bubich for 11. Is that it? That might be it.
Could be.
I think that's it.
I know not.
I do not have Vinny Pasquantino, but he talked today. For Vinny and the rest, says redemption's just a few hours away.
Yeah, it's just nice to get back out there. It's always good to play division games, and we have a bunch in a row here, and just got an opportunity ahead of us tonight, and try to get after them.
You were a little down yesterday after the game, didn't come through in some spots. You're going to go back and go to work. What's that look like for you after a day game? What do you do? Do you worry about that? Do you go home and still study video? I mean, what's your process?
It depends on the situation. You just try to look at things and see what's going wrong, see what's going right, and try to learn from everything, and just come back into the clubhouse today with a clear mindset and ready to win a game.
And then the good part is it's always a game, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's always another game. So it's always nice seeing people in public too. They're a lot more positive than when I look at my phone, which is nice. So met up. We had an event last night at Topgolf, so I saw a bunch of fans, which was really cool. And then was at the doctor this morning and saw some people there, which was cool. It's always nice talking to people in the community. So just ready to go tonight. And like you said, you've always got another opportunity the next day, so we're just ready for it.
How'd you do at Topgolf?
I didn't. It would not be a good look for me to be going through a back issue and hitting Topgolf. So I did not partake.
I will listen to Vinny anytime.
I will too.
So much fun.
And so I guess the doctor was the back. It's just getting more work on the back. Why'd you go to the doctor? would have been the next one, but I presume it was just maintenance on the back. I'm hoping,
or maybe he had some sniffles.
Yeah. We'll see. NBA basketball tonight. Knicks at Sixers, Spurs at Timberwolves on the ice. Canadians at Sabres, Golden Knights at Ducks for your playoff action tonight.
Knicks are on a burner.
Yes, they are playing well.
5.
You know who's not?
5 out of 6.
Or at least, I don't know that they're not playing well. They're just not as good as the Thunder. The Lakers are not. But that's okay. J.J. Redick, talking about the technical foul, was asked what led to him getting the tee.
Yeah, I mean, I sarcastically said the other day they were the most disruptive team without fouling. I mean, they have a few guys that foul on every possession, and all the good defenses do. SGA gets like a touch foul, I guess, on the drive. There was a stretch where 4 straight possessions, our guys got absolutely clobbered trying to make an entry pass to Jackson, and Jalen Williams is grabbing his jersey with both arms. That's a turn. They're hard enough to play. They're hard enough to play. You've got to be able to just call it if they foul, and they do foul.
Well, he wasn't done there. He said LeBron gets no favors, none from the officials.
Well, he gets clobbered on that one, with Jalen Williams coming over trying to block the shot when he spun baseline on Dort. That was in that stretch as well. LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen. I mean, I've been with him 2 years now. There's, again, the smaller guys, because they can be theatric, they typically draw more fouls, and the bigger players that are, built like LeBron, it's hard for them. But he gets clobbered, and he got clobbered again tonight a bunch, and that's not like a new thing. That's not specific to this crew or, this series. He gets fouled a lot. That doesn't happen. I mean, guy gets hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called.
He's also the only superstar you've ever coached. That's probably why he's the one that doesn't get any calls. I'm guessing. It's just me. Let's talk to Kevin Harlan. The voice of America is next.
The program with Soren Petro.
What's with your sour look?